on the air. Every week, Eagle 102 brings you the best of area high school sports. On air at 102.1, online at KJFMradio.com, and on the KJFM radio app. Now to the field for high school football on your area sports leader, KJFM Radio.
Good afternoon from Wright City High School, and the Louisiana Bulldogs are playing in our very rare Thursday night football game. Maddie Ingram, Corey Radford, we'll also have Rodney Dolbear and Kelly Henderson joining us in just a little bit, but we're going to go ahead and take a look at these two teams. And coming into this matchup, Wright City is 5-3 and an obvious EMO conference opponent. The Louisiana Bulldogs are 2-6 on the season, so kind of got off to a hot start. Looking like a good team to start early, but things have kind of fell off on this backside. Today would be a great position for them to get a win and get back on the right foot before the postseason.
Yeah, Louisiana needs to get back on track here. Kind of a late slide in the season. Wright City's got a winning record, but they're Louisiana stepping up a class in football tonight. Wright City's a Class 3 football team. Louisiana's Class 1. This could go a long way to getting some points for the district game and possibly being able to host a playoff game.
And so we'll break all of this down next with the pregame show on Eagle Sports.
Right on the square at 8 North Court in Bowling Green.
On every journey, you should enjoy peace of mind. I'm Corey Buchanan at Pike County Mutual Insurance Company. We take pride in keeping you protected. That's why we offer discounts for good students, safe driving, and more. Trust us to look out for the road ahead. For a free insurance quote on your home, auto, farm, or ATV needs, give myself or
Shelly Fluffy
a call today. Pike County Mutual Insurance Company on the square in Bowling Green.
When you're looking for a taste of Italy in Pike County, visit Gambino's Eatery in Louisiana, just a block from the riverfront on 3rd and Georgia. Create your own pasta dish. Experience the Gambino family recipe meatballs in a toasted garlic bun. Or enjoy some Italian wine with friends while indulging in cannoli dip with cinnamon sugar chips. Italian-American cuisine that's sure to tantalize your taste buds. Gambino's Eatery, 3rd and Georgia, downtown Louisiana.
Whether it's balls and strikes, titles, or flags, your referees and game officials are a vital part of high school athletics. If you've ever tried your hand at officiating, you know how hard these men and women work, and you certainly know they never miss a call intentionally. Keep these things in mind as you attend sporting events. After all, respecting officials and authority figures is one of the most valuable lessons that we can teach our students. This message has been brought to you by your friends at KJFM Radio and the Missouri State High School Activities Association. High school sports on Eagle 102, brought to you by Rick Rodhouse, Country Financial Agent, Noah Building, and Central State Bank of Illinois. Hear all the action from the Eagle 102 broadcast booth, sponsored by Family Drug and...
And we're back here at Wright City High School on a rare Thursday night football. Just to let everybody know, the game's being played on a Thursday night because of referee shortage for Wright City. So Wright City alerted Louisiana about a month ago, let them know that the game needed to be moved, and Louisiana, of course, was okay with that. And that's why the game is being played on a Thursday night. Kelly Henderson and Rodney Dolbear are coming to the booth currently, but Louisiana coming in at 2-6 on a slide, as we said earlier in the pregame show. Need to cut back on the penalties, double-digit penalties the last 2 weeks, and it's kind of come back and bit them, especially in the second half whenever the games have been tight at halftime. Louisiana currently sits at 6th place, I believe, in a 9-team district. Now, it's a little bit different this year, a little bit odd, especially to some of the people that have been following the district format for years. So what'll happen next week is the 8 versus 9 teams will play each other in district play, and the 1 through 7 seeds, I apologize, will not play next week. So if Louisiana ends up with a 1 through 7 seed, Louisiana will have a bye next week, and they won't play again until Friday, November 3rd, in which their opponent will be to be determined, and you can follow that. Who they're going to play, when they're going to play. You can follow that on Eagle 10 Sports Facebook page and also on their website. And we're here at the Bowling Green Pharmacy pregame show. We'll be back with Kelly Henderson and Rodney Dolbear in a bit with the Vicky Cadwalder keys to the game.
Ingram Plumbing. Did you know that Ingram's is also the largest retail plumbing supply store in the area? Carry Delta faucets, a complete line of Whirlpool tubs and showers, jacuzzi pumps, and many other specialty items. Stop by Ingram Plumbing today, Highway 61, Bowling Green.
This is Tracy Brookser with Pike County Health Department Home Health and Hospice. Our agency is currently looking to hire multiple positions: RNs, LPNs, CNAs, physical therapist assistants, and breastfeeding care counselor, all from full-time to part-time to contracted. Please visit our website at www.pikecountyhealth.org for more information and to apply online.
This is Sarah Grody, and People's Savings Bank is excited to announce the Bobcat debit card. People's Savings Bank believes in giving back to the communities we serve, and that begins with the school district. Every time you use your Bobcat debit card as a credit, People's Savings Bank will give the school district 5 cents. That may not sound like a lot of money, but since starting this program 6 years ago, PSB has been able to give back over $120,000. Open an account online at ourpsb.com or stop by our branch. We are the one with the bright blue roof. Start earning the Bowling Green School District money today just by using your debit card. Member FDIC.
Classic cheesesteak and rich crab cake. A taste of Philly in Bowling Green is a fan favorite. A meal ready for you before or after the game, and game day jerseys are welcome. Open 7 days a week. A taste of Philly. Business Highway 54 West in Bowling Green. Area High School Sports from Eagle 102. Brought to you by Cellular and Satellite Center, Pike County Memorial Hospital, and Community State Bank of Missouri. 102 keys to the game on KKFM. Sponsored by Vicky Cadwalder Real Estate in Louisiana.
We're back here at Wright City High School with the Bowling Green Pharmacy pregame show. I'm about to turn it over to Kelly Henderson for the Vicky Cadwalder keys to the game. Nice, the sun's popping out here. A nice warm night for this time of year. And Kelly, what's your keys to the game?
So Louisiana has to go back and reestablish their line play on both sides of the line on offense and defense, where they were at the first 4 games of the year. They seem to have kind of regressed there, and they need to go back and reestablish that. The skill position players are going to have to make some better reads than what we've seen in the past couple of weeks. The ROP plays and the options and some of the other things. Some of the reads just aren't getting made well. And my third thing, for I think the 4th week in a row, is they've got to clean up their game. They just can't continue to have the mistakes and the penalties. Last week they had 15 penalties. There were 3 drives that they had going. Some of them, they were close to the goal line on their drive, and penalties took them right out of it. So they have got to have more discipline and clean their game up, Corey.
I agree totally, Kelly. I believe that this is 2 weeks in a row, the past 2 weeks, that they've had double-digit penalties. And, I don't want to say Louisiana's not good enough to overcome that. I don't think Bowling Green was good enough to overcome that with 15 penalties in a game. Heck, the Kansas City Chiefs aren't good enough to overcome that.
No, you just can't do it. You can't have that many miscues, and those are just the penalties. Those aren't the misreads and many other things, that the missed assignments, which their kids, they're going to have some of that. But this is too much for even kids to have this many penalties, this many reads that are missed, as many missed assignments as they have. We can go back and we talked some last week about, the coverage in the defensive backfield. It seems like that, the corners, safeties are losing their guys early in the routes and getting their head in the backfield. And just little miscues like that have got to be cleaned up if they want a chance to be a good Wright City team tonight.
Well, you see it at every level, and you touched on it. You see the lack of discipline in the penalties. Teams you just can't overcome that because you have to make a certain number of quality plays, football plays, to put yourself in a position to win. If you think about in the course of a game, 5 or 6 plays may change the outcome. Well, if you're going to have 11, 12, 14, 15 negative plays due to penalty, well, your margin of error, it completely goes away to nothing. There's just no way you can make those types of mistakes, and you see it at every level of football that's played.
That's right, and we early in the season we saw it go the other way against Crystal City, and Crystal City I believe sits at number 2 in the district right now, and Crystal City's at least even, if not maybe a little better man than Louisiana is, but Louisiana got 4 or 5 turnovers off of Crystal City and wound up winning that football game.
Absolutely.
All right, Corey Radford, Kelly Henderson, and Rodney Dolbear, with also the assistance of Madison Ingram here at Wright City High School. We're going to take a break. We'll come back with the starting lineups here on the Bowling Green Pharmacy pregame show at Eagle 102 Sports.
Financial Services Organization. Community State Bank in Bowling Green and Troy, your community bank since 1887, member FDIC.
That's been best breakfast in Louisiana is back, now operating under new leadership. The Eagles Nest Inn B&B is happy to once again provide a charming and inviting lodging experience for your family, friends, and business guests. For reservations, visit eaglesnestinbb.com or call 573-725-5108. Looking forward to serving you. The Eagles Nest Inn Bed and Breakfast, Louisiana.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. Winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
Me, Ashley Jenkins, about Shelter's auto, home, and life options.
As many as 50% of people don't take their medication as prescribed. Missing or not taking medication can be deadly. For questions about medication, visit your local Health Mart pharmacy, Bowling Green Pharmacy, located right on the square at 8 North Court in Bowling Green.
Area High School Sports on KJFM Radio. Brought to you by Brown's Processing and Smokehouse Meats, Young Enterprises, and Family Drive.
The Eagle 102 starting lineups on KJFM are sponsored by Community State Bank of Missouri in Bowling Green and Troy.
We're back here at Wright City High School. Louisiana Bulldogs traveled down here on a rare Thursday night high school football game between the Louisiana Bulldogs and the Wright City Wildcats. We're here with the Community State Bank starting lineups. And Kelly, a little changes in the Louisiana starting lineup tonight.
Yeah, we have some changes here this evening. Let me run down. You got Jamal Blackwell, plays receiver for him. You got Cooper Lumley, plays tight end. You got Will Chester getting the starting nod tonight. Another tight end. You have DeMarco Green, one of the running backs. Brady Shepard at fullback. Alex Zira, I believe, is going to start at quarterback tonight. Wyatt Martin plays center. Alex Poston plays the left tackle. Ben Nictula, I believe he plays the right tackle. Brendan Hughes plays the right guard. And I believe it looks like they're going to start Elon King at that other guard spot tonight.
And that's the Community State Bank starting lineups for the Louisiana Bulldogs. And Kelly, I was saying in the pregame show a little bit earlier before Rodney and you got on that this is a big game for the district seeding for Louisiana, because whenever you step up a class like Louisiana is tonight, Wright City is a Class 3 school, Louisiana is a Class 1 school. This is opportunity for Louisiana.
Yeah, huge, huge. You know, if Louisiana could pull the upset here tonight, you know, I'm just not exactly sure how the points work on that, but I do know that it would be a huge gain in the points and may be able to leapfrog a team or two if they could pull off that victory tonight.
And if anybody's taken a look at the district schools that are in there with Louisiana and Van Far as well, it's quite the drive for a road game. I think the closest teams are over on the other side of Jefferson City, close to the
except for Van Far.
Except for Van Far in Louisiana, and that's what I'm saying. For Louisiana and Van Far to be close to each other like that, it'd be outstanding for Louisiana to get a second shot at Van Far, maybe overcome some of the penalties. So Kelly, you know, we're here about 13 minutes before kickoff. What would you like to see Louisiana do offensively to overcome being shut out last week?
Well, you know, and I keep going back to the keys of the game, and it wasn't like they weren't moving the ball and haven't moved the ball, but I think there's two things, and one of them goes back to, of course, playing a clean game is where it's at. But the second thing is I've seen teams in the last 3 weeks blitz Louisiana a lot, where it's at. So Louisiana's offense is going to have their blitz beater plays, and they're going to have to be successful with them, and get the other team out of the thought of, you know, blitzing so much where it's at. So those are the two things that I think that they're going to have to do to be able to go. And, you know, go back again. I'd love to see the offensive line, you know, dominate right off the bat, you know, win their battles. And, you know, if that works, everything works.
Well, and Rodney, what we've seen out of the past month out of Ethan Harrison at quarterback is he struggled to run the ball efficiently like he did early in the season. Kelly and Rodney, you were both gone for the South Callaway game. Jim Ross and I did that game, and we seen Zerwa at quarterback, and Zerwa's got some wheels, and he can really turn the edge quicker, whereas Ethan Harrison is more of a bigger quarterback.
Yeah, but you know, Harrison's got a much better arm, is where it's at. But you're exactly right. Zera's a playmaker, and even if he's not at quarterback, you know, every time he's had the ball this year, he has made plays, is where it's at. And I would like to have seen in games previous them try to get the ball in his hands a lot more than what they have.
Oh, and I can tell both Rodney and Kelly what I would like to see offensively tonight, especially out of the passing game, is let's get rid of the all or nothing plays. It's got to be a big play or nothing. What Jim and I seen down at South Callaway when Louisiana went down there and put up almost 50 points is a lot of shorter and intermediate passes to Cooper Lumley, to Zerwa. Get the ball in their hands, let them make a play. That protects your offensive line. That gets your Cooper Lumleys, your Zerwas out in space. Now Zerwa's the quarterback tonight, but that's the opportunities that Louisiana can take tonight and get going forward into the district game.
Well, and part of that, you know, fits right into your blitz beater plays. You know, your tight ends being able to float through the middle and find out whenever those linebackers blitz, there's holes there. So, you know, we want to get that tight end right there and have that quarterback make that short dump, and that tight end ought to be able to run for a while if he catches football.
We're on the Bowling Green Pharmacy pregame show. That was the Community State Bank starting lineups. We're going to take a break here as the band is walking out on the field and come back for the national anthem. This is KJFM and WBBA Sports.
risks, and safety hazards. As a certified athletic trainer at Pike County Memorial Hospital, I work closely with our primary care physicians, orthopedic doctors, and physical therapists. We can make a difference between safe play and dangerous injuries for your athletes. Working with Bowling Green Classroom and Louisiana schools, our goal is to provide the best possible outcome for your athletes. I'm Casey Sutton, certified athletic trainer with Pike County Memorial Hospital. I'm at work while your athletes are at play.
Bowling Green Tractor wants to change the way you think about yard work with their Ego 56-volt ARC lithium battery-powered lawnmowers, weed eaters, blowers, trimmers, and chainsaws. At Bowling Green Tractor, you can walk in and see for yourself just how easy these products are to handle. Bowling Green Tractor, your home for Ego. Power beyond belief.
Your car, your stuff, your savings. Combine your auto and renter's insurance with a call to State Farm Insurance agent Cindy Blaylock in Louisiana. And let Cindy show you how to put life back in your life insurance. Auto, home, and life. Make your wallet happy. Here to help life go right, State Farm Insurance agent Cindy Blaylock in Louisiana.
High school sports on your area sports leader, Eagle 102. Brought to you by Bowling Green Tractor, Vicky Cadwalder, Real Estate, and Ingram Plumbing.
Welcome back to Wright City. We're underway with the national anthem. I will take this opportunity to run down the starting lineup for the Wright City Wildcats. Their skill position players, their quarterback wears number 5, Joey Gendron. At one running back, you have Denzel Dowdy. He'll wear number 3. Number 4, Carleon Jones is also listed as a running back. Your receivers are number 1, Caden Allison, and number 10, DeJuan McRoberts. Across the line of scrimmage, Quinn Schnare, Hunter Bohannon, Steve Cox, Omar Ganem, and Devin Myers. We will now listen to the national anthem.
Construction.
Hello, this is Tiffany with Matt. Are you looking to get a jump on Black Friday? Save big with Matt's 2-day pre-Black Friday sales event. With tremendous savings on the entire Whirlpool family, such as KitchenAid, Maytag, and Amana, you can choose from many styles of refrigerators, ranges, dishwashers, and more. Oh, and let's not forget the ever-favorite Speed Clean washers and dryers. Don't miss out. These special one-of-a-kind deals are for a limited time only. Save the date, Friday, November 3rd, 8 to 5, and Saturday, November 4th, 9 to noon. Stop by either location at Matt in downtown Louisiana at 607 Georgia Street or just off the square in Bowling Green at 20 South Court Street. We hope to see you there. Matt, your major appliance service headquarters.
Brown's Processing and Smokehouse Meats is your first stop when stocking your freezer. Brown's has frozen chicken, steaks, brats, and burgers ready to go. For wholesale and custom butchering, Brown's is your first call. It's where quality meets service. Brown's Processing and Smokehouse Meats. For your meat processing, smokehouse meats, and homemade sausage. Time hot, and now it's the time to cash in your old jewelry. Jay Roberts. That means you can turn those old, forgotten pieces into cold, hard cash. Stop by Jay Roberts Jewelry. Corner of the square in Pittsfield.
Don't have time to stop by the bank? That's not a problem if you're a customer of People's Bank and Trust. With our mobile and online banking service, you can now bank from anywhere. Deposit checks, pay bills, transfer funds between accounts, check the latest activity on your account, and view images of your checks, all from the convenience of your desktop and smartphone. So start banking on your schedule and download the People's Bank and Trust app today. People's Bank and Trust, hometown banking the way it should be. Member FDIC.
Coverage of high school sports is on Eagle 102, and it's brought to you by Mid-America Auto and Towing, Perkins Electrical Services, and Pike County Mutual Insurance.
The captains approach midfield for Louisiana. It's Zerwa, Shepard, Harrison, and Nick Tula, as they will meet at midfield and determine who gets the ball to start things. And guys, as you were talking earlier, kind of in the keys to the game section, and with the changes at the helm of the offense this evening, it'll be interesting to see if we see much of a fundamental switch in how they try and conduct their offense. A point that I thought of as you were talking about the offense that we've seen through the first two-thirds of this season, and something that has been lacking during the downturn is the awareness to try something a little bit different. Early on, Brady Shepard had a lot of running through the tackles, tackle to tackle, didn't have so much on the edge. As time went on, that was shut off, and it appeared that there was some ground to be gained on the edge that we just didn't maybe see taken advantage of. And we've talked about on the broadcast and off air as well, the passing game. You're looking to get the passing game going with some short passes that are easier to throw, easier to catch, and pick up some positive yards rather than just taking the home run shot down the field.
Yeah, I agree, Rodney. And, I think you always have to look at this from the opponent's side. And if you sat down and watched film on Louisiana the last, we'll just say 4 weeks, you have to figure out, okay, what do I want to do to defend these guys? And I thought Van Fard had a really good defensive game plan last week. They blitzed. Louisiana hasn't shown the ability to be able to beat the blitz. They set extra guys out on the edge and the perimeter to make sure that they wasn't going to get beat around. So they said, okay, so if we're going to get beat, we're going to make Louisiana, again, the word blitz beater, run a blitz beater play on us, and then we'll go from there. Louisiana was never able to do that last week. So if I'm Wright City, I guarantee you I play something close to the defense that Van Far played against Louisiana last week until Louisiana decides that they can run a blitz beater play that's going to work.
Well, after the opening toss, Wright City will have the ball on offense to start this game, so Louisiana get a chance to come out on defense and try and get out of the series and give their offense a chance. We're going to take a short break. We've got about a minute and a half before this game kicks. We'll be back with a play-by-play after this on Eagle 102 and WBBA Sports.
Ackle Farm Market in New Hartford is the place to stop for fresh fruit. You can find California strawberries, sweet cherries, peaches, and nectarines, plus Texas seedless watermelon. Ackles also has local beef, pork, and honey available. Open every day 9 until 7. Ackles Farm Market, just off Highway 54 between Pittsfield and Louisiana. Area high school sports on Eagle 102. Brought to you by Rod Prentice and Brenda Crawford, State Farm Agents. Tusky and Ackles Farm Market.
Harrison is teed it on the 40, set to kick it off. Dowdy and McRoberts stand at their own 20-yard line awaiting the kick. Louisiana has not shown the desire to kick it deep. This time it's a pooch kick down the right side, fielded at the 35-yard line, fumbled, and then quickly dropping on the ball for Wright City. Very smart play. It was Caden Spicer, and that'll give the Wildcats 1st and 10 from their own 33-yard line.
Yeah, I think Spicer had a very quick notion of maybe trying to do something with that ball, and Louisiana defenders got him so quick. You're right, he made a smart play and got down on top of it.
So Gendron, he'll open up with two backs behind him in a pistol formation, split one left and one right. Single receiver to the near side is Allison. Single receiver top of the field. Louisiana looks to blitz, handoff up the middle, hitting the backfield, going to be dropped for a short gain, if any. Dwan McRoberts with the carry might actually lose a little bit of yardage there, and a good start there for Louisiana's defensive front.
So they're back in the 4-4, which is what they started the season with and probably what they played the best of. A couple things of note, Louisiana sent a backer that time through the A-gap, but Wright City did a wonderful job of picking the blitz up.
They did, but there was nowhere to run. It's going to be 2nd and 11, empty backfield, 3 receivers top of the field, 2 to the near side. In motion is Allison. He takes the pitch to the right side, looks to turn the corner to the 35, across the 35, out near the 40-yard line. Nice gain of about 10 on the play. Call it 8. It'll be 3rd down and 3 as they spot the ball right at the Wright City 40-yard line.
So Louisiana's defensive end on that side that time got completely turned around. He was responsible for setting that edge, and the Wright City blocker got him turned around completely the opposite way.
Gendron calls for the snap, has a single back in the backfield, 3 yards to go on 3rd down. Handoff up the middle, hit at the line of scrimmage, falls forward. Going to be, I think, just a touch short, but you might look for them to go. It's going to be 4th down and about a yard. They mark the ball at the 42-yard line. Yard to gain is the 43. Handoff went right up the middle to Denzel Dowdy. He was hit at the line of scrimmage and fell forward for 2. The offense stays on the field. A big opportunity for Louisiana. Just underway first quarter.
Watch them trying to make them jump here to get that easy 1st down.
Yeah.
14 on the play clock. Gendron calls for the snap, hands off. 1st down yardage to gain into the backfield is Dowdy. He's still running down to the 35-yard line. Denzel Dowdy. We got a flag on the play. Flag dropped at the Louisiana 48. We'll see what the officials sort out here. They're going to march it back. Looks like it's going to be a holding penalty. That will take it back inside the yard to gain. And they're going to spot it at the 42-yard line, and it's actually going to be the same down and distance that we just faced. So it'll be 4th and 1 once again.
The chain gang had moved the chains already, so I think they're trying to get them reset here.
Well, Louisiana's gained a yard on the reset. They've got it the yard to gain the 44 now, so it's 4th and 2. Snap back, looking to throw into the right flat, off the hands of the receiver at the 48-yard line, and Louisiana's going to take over on downs.
So not great coverage there, just lack of execution for the Wright City receiver. It looked like the ball hit him in the hands to me. So Louisiana has an opportunity here with a bit of a shorter field to get up on top here.
They have it 1st and 10 at the Wright City 42-yard line. As we mentioned, Zierwall, he's going to break the huddle and will operate as the quarterback here this evening. 2 receivers come to the near side. Green in the slot. Blackwell stands in front of the Louisiana bench. Handoff. Zierwall takes it right up the middle to the 40-yard line, still on his feet, fighting for yardage. And I think forward progress is going to pick up about 4 yards on 1st down. Zierwall just veered off tackle left and picked up a nice gain on 1st.
Yeah, he's got that nice acceleration, a little bit like Brady Shepard. A lot of suddenness whenever he decides to go. And he's a little narrower, a little smaller than Ethan is, and may be able to find some of those smaller creases a little easier sometimes maybe than Ethan can.
2nd and 6. Louisiana huddles on the 45.
I say Zierwall reminds me not of Tyreek Hill, but he's got that first step.
Yeah.
He's full speed.
Yes.
And he didn't hesitate to hit the hole there.
Right.
High snap, fielded, pitch to Shepard coming to the near side, 40, still on his feet inside the 35. They're going to mark him down at the 35. It'll bring up 3rd and 3. Louisiana trying to move the chains here, has nice field position. Ball spotted just outside the Wright City 35-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 3 yards to go.
A middle linebacker for Wright City, Carleon Jones, made a nice read, staying with that pitch, and showed he's got some quickness to get out there with Brady Shepard and being able to hang him up to a 2-yard gain.
Brady hasn't seen very many runs outside the tackles this year either.
Nope.
Zerwa fumbles the snap. It's on the ground, and Wright City recovers it. It was a little bit of a high snap, and perhaps Zerwa wasn't expecting it. It was high and to the right, and Wright City will take over on the fumble. They'll have it 1st and 10 at their own 38-yard line and an opportunity missed.
He wasn't, and I think Zerwa was already looking at where he was going to throw to. It looked like that was going to be a passing play, and I think he already had his eyes a little bit on his receivers as it was going, and just kind of took his eye off. It was a high snap, but he should have been able to field that ball.
Wright City, after the turnover, single back in the backfield is your quarterback. It's a sweep out to the right side. It was a Wildcat formation with DeJuan McRoberts, and he's going to lose about 4 or 5 yards on the play. Louisiana was ready for that and stuffed it.
Yeah. Now they brought a little extra heat off of that left side of that Louisiana defense and was able to play. They won the numbers game on it. Louisiana hasn't won the numbers game very often this year, but they have a couple times already tonight.
That was a whole gang of Bulldogs back there. It wasn't just 2 or 3.
Yep.
2nd and 14. Back at quarterback is Gendron. He looks to throw to the right side. Hits his man there at the 35, across the 35 to the 40-45. First down yardage, still on his feet at the 40, and into the defensive backfield.
Stepped out.
They're going to say he stepped out of bounds. They're going to mark him out just inside Louisiana territory at the 48. Carleon Jones had a head of steams and just stepped out on the far side before breaking into the defensive backfield. But Wright City has it 1st and 10 on the Louisiana side of midfield for the first time. They mark it at the 46, 1st and 10. 2 receivers come to the near side. 3 to the top of the field, empty backfield as Gendron calls for the snap. 7:19 left, first quarter. Pass out to the near side in the flat. Good coverage by Louisiana, and they're going to wrestle him down. Caden Allison not going to pick up much, might lose a yard. And once again, good disciplined coverage for Louisiana there. Strung that out and was able to get Allison down for a loss.
Yeah, Joe Pitzer playing that cornerback position had good recognition there. Wasn't cracked up about how far back off he was playing, but had good recognition of that play and was able to bust up and make a sure-handed tackle on that.
If I was Wright City, I'd go back to this right edge, running off the edge. It's been there all night. We've seen the 2 big plays by Wright City's offense. Go right off the right side of the offense, and that's the wide side of the field right now.
Single back in the backfield, offset the shotgun formation. Pitch to the back in the backfield, going to lose a yard. Nothing there, just kind of turned and handed it to the running back, Denzel Dowdy, and Louisiana's getting good penetration. They were there just about as quick as the handoff was made, and it'll be 3rd and 11.
Yeah, Ben Nictula playing that in position over there. I'm not sure if that was a design not to block him, but or a missed assignment. My gosh, nobody touched him.
3rd and 11. Empty backfield, hard count. Louisiana does not flinch, or they did flinch. They didn't jump.
Very good.
Yeah.
There is a distinction. 5:57, 7 on the play clock. Gendron looks to throw to the right side, had his man in the flat with space into the backfield, tripped up, touchdown saving tackle by Shepard about the 30-yard line. First down, Wright City.
So that's what Wright City, I would say, now considers their money play. Is that short little screen out on the wide receiver screen. So Louisiana needs to adjust to be able to get that stopped.
All 3 big plays by Wright City so far off the right side of the offense, off the left side of the defense. Louisiana needs to adjust over there, maybe widen out a little.
2 backs in the backfield, handoff to Dowdy running across the right side. He gets maybe 2 yards. Good job by the Louisiana defensive front to avoid a big gain. They're going to give him 3 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 7.
I think whenever I would see that trips over on the right side, I'd bring up at least 1, maybe 2, right up to the line of scrimmage. Try to stop that play.
Carleon Jones was the receiver that caught that particular play, and when he gets a couple of steps, he seems to be a load to bring down. 2 backs in the backfield. Handoff fake to Dowdy. Quarterback comes near side, has a wide open field. Going to have first down yardage inside the 20, run out of bounds there by Zerwa. And there was nobody home on the defensive right for Louisiana. Gain of about 11 or 12 moves the chains.
So again, that goes back to discipline. Even though you're on the offside of the play, or what looks like the offside of the play, and you have edge responsibility, you still have to set the edge, even though the play's going away from you and trail down through there. There was nobody there. The defensive end got sucked inside. Now he jumps off sides. Yep, we got to get some discipline, guys.
So it's going to be 1st and 5 after the Louisiana penalty. Gendron empties the backfield. He has 3 receivers standing on the wide side of the field, 2 to the near side.
Does Louisiana only have 2 defenders over there on the left side?
They do.
Well, yeah, they got the safety over top, but there's
the play out in the flat.
Oh, there's a hold. That's not going to get called. Wow.
Reception made by Dowdy over there, perhaps.
Yeah.
2nd and 1. Nice job, Louisiana. They had 3 players, or 2 players guarding 3. Second and short. Gendron takes it right up the middle, slips 1 tackle at the line of scrimmage, has the first down, getting near the goal line. Touchdown, they signal. Yep. Touchdown, Wright City, as Gendron takes it right up the middle from about 11 yards out, and the Wildcats have the lead.
Yeah, they got a few yards off of that run play, but, that counter they ran, they got a few yards off of it. Most everything's come off these short little wide receiver screens they're throwing. We're not able to defend those.
Going to have to blow that up,
yep.
And that's really been their bread and butter offensive play to this point.
Right.
Extra point on the way, and it is good for Wright City. So with 4:01 left in the first, Wright City jumps on top 7-0. Back with more on WBBA and Eagle 102 Sports after this.
There will also be tools, lawn equipment, antlers, and collectibles. To find the full listing and pictures, visit AllenAuctioneers.com. The auction of Don and Judy Blank Estate, Saturday, October 28th at 1302 Business Highway 54 in Bowling Green. Brought to you by Bill Allen Auction Service.
Best coverage of high school sports on KJFM, brought to you by Unity State Bank of Missouri, County Market, Louisiana, and Bowling Green Pharmacy.
Marco Green stands at his own 17-yard line. He'll have the up men Harrison and Zerwa about 10 yards in front of him, and we'll see what Wright City wants to do, if they kick it away or if they put something a little bit shorter and keep it out of the skill positions for Louisiana's hands. Ball is teed on the 40-yard line. Left-footed kicker moves into it, and it is a high end-over-end kick. Harrison's going to field it at the 25, cuts to his right to the 30, cuts up to the 35, still on his feet to the 40, out near the 5-yard line. A nice return. They're going to mark the ball on the 45. So Ethan Harrison with a nice return there to give Louisiana good field position.
Wright City's this Carleon Jones seems to be a pretty good athlete. And I believe wherever he was at on offenses that I would make sure that he was accounted for one way or the other. But we'll see now what Louisiana can do on offense.
They've got Jones listed at 5'10", 170. He looks bigger than that.
He looks bigger than that.
Yep.
He's got some speed.
Well, Harrison's back at quarterback. He hands off to Green coming to the short side of the field and is going to be wrestled down for a loss. Nothing there.
Yeah.
Actually, I believe it was Lumley with the carry. Now there's Green. He was in there. He was in there as well, and nothing there. Loss of about 1.
Yeah. I haven't seen a lot of blitzing yet out of Wright City on defense. It looks like they're playing it pretty even, really trying to make sure that their edges are set. They don't want to allow anything outside. Looks like they're fairly disciplined so far.
A three-man front for Wright City, too, with the stand-up outside linebacker. Just attack him right in between the tackles here.
Yeah.
3 receivers, top of the field, single back is Shepard, offset to the left. Option pitch to Shepard running to the left at the 45-yard line. Going to pick up a 2, might cross the 45, gets back to at least the original line of scrimmage. We'll see where they mark the ball, and that's, in fact, where they place it down at the Louisiana 45. It'll be 3rd and 10. That pitch looked like it went through the defender.
Yeah, it did. But he did a good job. He held on to it till the last second possible, like you're supposed to do, and made a nice pitch and was around. Wright City just defended it well.
Zerwa wide to the left, Blackwell to the near side. Harrison calls for the snap, takes it, hands off to Shepard in the backfield. He'll get about 2, but that'll be all. It'll be 4th and 7 or 8 for Louisiana.
A dive on 4th or on 3rd and 10 midfield, you got to play to win.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see if Louisiana Harrison, they're in their normal punt formation. Now Ethan does back up 15 yards deep. High snap, he fields it, moves into it. High end over end kick, away from the receiver, bounces at the 20-yard line, picked up by McRoberts at the 15, and he gains about 9 on the return.
Yeah, that was a bit dangerous, but he got by with it there on that short pickup. If Louisiana defender was down there early and kind of pulled up a little bit whenever he's getting to the ball, thinking that the returner was going to get away from it and did not. And the returner made a quick step and picked it up and got a few yards off the return.
See if Louisiana adjusts over here on the left side of their defensive line.
Snap back, Gendron hands off to McRoberts, running right up the middle into the secondary. Going to be a first down yardage.
I've seen some things revert back a little bit. And if you remember earlier in the year, we commented that Louisiana was getting defenders there and getting bodies on the ball carrier, but they weren't making the tackles. And I'm starting to see this again tonight a couple times, that we have defenders where we need to be, and they're touching the ball carrier, but they're not getting the tackles made.
Well, McRoberts, that time, that was a much faster developing running play than some that they've run to this point in the first quarter. Looked like motion. They're not going to throw the flag. Handoff again to the running back. First down yardage across the midfield stripe. Going to be marked out of bounds at the Louisiana 46-yard line as we come under a minute in the first quarter, and had 2 backs in the backfield. With the carry that time was Denzel Dowdy, and it looked like the running back on the near side played a little Canadian rules there and had about a step head start on the snap. But nonetheless, 1st and 10 Wright City. 44-yard line is where the ball is spotted as we have 59 seconds left. Handoff in the backfield once again. Line of scrimmage controlled by Louisiana. Falling forward is Carleon Jones, and that, again, was more slow developing, and Louisiana, with their first wave of defenders, was able to wrestle him down.
Yeah, and, kind of amazing because the first part of this game, early in this quarter, the Louisiana defensive line was creasing gaps like they're supposed to and was getting penetration, was able to shut down that run. Now the Louisiana defensive line is engaging with the offensive line, and if they continue to do that, Wright City's going to be able to run wherever they want to run to tonight.
Going to be 2nd and 7. Had some kind of an official timeout on the field, but we're ready to go. Three backs in the backfield once again. Gendron stands 7 yards deep, calls for the snap, hands off to the up back into the backfield. Nice move at the 30-yard line, or at the 35-yard line, and it's going to be a first down Wright City.
Yep.
Jones once again with the carry, moves the chains.
Probably be the last play of the first quarter here.
We're under 10 seconds. They certainly don't have to run another play, and it doesn't look like they will. So at the end of one quarter of play, Wright City on top of Louisiana 7-0. Back with more after this on Eagle 102 and WBBA Sports.
As a resident, you can enjoy the same independent lifestyle you've always enjoyed, but with the peace of mind knowing that help is available when needed. For more information, visit Lynn's Heritage House, 800 Kelly Lane, Louisiana, or online at lynnsheritage.com.
Tonight's game is not only a competitive contest between these two schools, but it's also an educational experience for the students involved. Because high school activities are about learning life values, your friends at Eagle 102 and the Missouri State High School Activities Association remind everyone to do their part in keeping our hometown sports a positive experience for everyone. When you attend your next game, do your part to help rekindle the spirit of citizenship by showing good sportsmanship. You'll be teaching a positive lesson, and you'll be preserving a proud tradition in the state of Missouri.
Area high school sports on Eagle 102. Brought to you by People's Bank and Trust, State Farm Insurance, Cindy Blaylock Agent, and Bowling Green Pharmacy.
As we get ready to start the second quarter of play, Wright City has it 1st and 10 at the Louisiana 33-yard line. They have the ball and a 7-point lead. 7-0 is our score. Two backs in the backfield, one left, one right of Gendron. He takes the snap, looks to throw, looks to air it out down the left side, has a man open there. It's a little bit underthrown. It was tipped and incomplete. Green did a nice job of recovery there. Since the ball was underthrown, he didn't make the mistake of just running into the receiver. He was able to look for the ball, tip it a little bit, and even after the tip, nearly a completion.
But that was a much better job of coverage, Rodney, than we've seen out of him in the past few weeks. Green didn't get his head stuck in the backfield looking for the run. He stayed with that receiver, kind of played his eyes and his hands like you're supposed to, and I think Green got the tip there.
He did, and then after the tip, Caden Allison nearly brought it in, but it did fall incomplete. 2nd and 10, handoff right up the middle. Nice job defensively, Nick Tula on the stop.
So, and Nick Tula playing the end did a nice job, set his edge, saw the play going inside, squeezed it down, made the tackle. That was a very nice job on his part. Now, are we going to see this trips left with Carleon Jones over there?
Not yet. We've got three in the backfield. Denzel Dowdy with the 1-yard carry gives Wright City 3rd and 9. A little bit of a high snap, throws into the left flat for McRoberts, tries to get the corner. Had him drugged down for a 2-yard gain, but missed the tackle and is going to be very near first down yardage.
So the other receiver that was over there was blocking Green, and Green just stayed engaged with that block entirely too long. Those guys have got to shed that block a lot quicker than that.
Well, so on the left side of the Louisiana defense, there was an overriding, but there was hardly anybody over on that right side.
Right.
Fourth and 1. Offense tries to draw Louisiana, was unsuccessful in doing so. 8 on the play clock. 2 backs in the backfield with Gendron. 2 receivers top of the field. Handoff to Jones up the middle. Looks like he's going to have first down yardage.
Yep. Yeah, not a bad job, but I mean, they only had a yard and a half they had to gain, and Jones, like I said, he looks a little bigger than what he's listed at. So.
I want to go back to how Louisiana's defending this 2 wide receiver on one side with a safety playing back in only one corner, but they're having an overload on the weak side of the offensive line. And Wright City's just playing numbers. They need to even out the defense. They need to get another corner over there on that side and have 6 in the box and play that.
Yeah.
This time a single back stands behind Gendron. He's offset to the right. That's Allison. Actually, it's not Allison. Handoff right up the middle. Breaking into the backfield inside the 10-yard line with the carry is Denzel Dowdy. Just nothing fancy there. Just a little bit of a counter look right up the gut.
Yeah.
1st and goal to go.
If you're watching this on the stream, just watch. It seems like on one part that Louisiana's overloaded on one side of the field and underloaded on the other, and I'm not sure why they're not trying to balance out their defense a little better than that. whenever they're seeing that formation come out for Wright City.
Yeah, Wright City's lining up one wide receiver to the to one side of the field.
Well, and here you are now.
Yeah.
If you look over on your right side, if you can see on the camera, we're heavy over on this side. We're a man short on the other side.
Yep.
Gendron with two backs, hands off to Jones in the backfield, cuts to his right, to the 5, still on his feet inside the 5, will be short of the goal line. Nice running. Jones is a very shifty runner as well. He seems to be a big kid, but has some nice moves.
Yeah, he's just an athlete.
2nd and goal. Ball is at the 2.5 yard line. Louisiana trying to make a stand here. They're going to need to get some negative yardage plays if they're going to do that. 2 running backs in the backfield. Gendron calls for the snap. Going to hand off to Dowdy in the backfield. He's hit and won't get the goal line. Again, had some contact in the backfield, but nonetheless, they're going to mark him down at about the 1, it looks like. 3rd and goal from the 1. Need a negative yardage play now. There's no more yards to give.
That's where you just send it right up the middle.
2 backs in the backfield. Hand off to Dowdy. He's going to walk into the end zone. Touchdown, Wright City.
As I said right before the play, I said you just send your whole defense right up the middle because that's where it was going, and there wasn't anybody for Louisiana there. He just walked in.
Dowdy with the 1 yard run.
Rodney, I just question why this defense is being played against this style of offense when you've basically got three defenders lined up, head up with the tackle and on the outside, and there's only one person on the outside over there.
Extra point attempt on the way by Caleb McCrory, and it is good. He's 2 for 2. And with 8:50 left in the second quarter, Wright City now leads 14-0. Back with more on Eagle 102 and WBBA Sports.
Since 1989, offers low factory direct prices on high-quality vinyl windows, custom designed to fit perfectly and built to last. See how much you can save. Call Sun Windows, 573-549-2080 for details and a free estimate. Sun Window Company, Highway 161 in Middletown.
At Central State Bank, you're part of the family. When you're ready to start saving, Central State Bank is ready to help. Right now, if you're a current customer, get a 15-month CD with a special rate of 5.6%. And for new customers, 5.3%. A $5,000 minimum balance is required. Stop in today and ask how you can take advantage of this special rate. Central State Bank, central to your banking needs with locations in Pleasant Hill, Pittsfield, Kinderhook, Quincy, and Clayton. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Follow area high school sports throughout the season on Eagle 102. Brought to you by Veolia Landscape Supply, Royal Paints, and a Taste of Philly.
Corey puts it in the air to the right side. Zero picks it up at the 20. Tries to get by one defender, and a nice tackle that time. Wright City, Jacob Pop, prevented a much better return. Louisiana will have it 1st and 10 at their own 25 or 6 yard line.
Zero had never looked comfortable running that ball that time. You just don't see that out of him. Usually it's a quick decision, and he's up at full speed, and it just looked like he never, I don't know if he was trying to get a block set up for himself or what, but he just never, just didn't look like him.
It was like he found quicksand on the field, like he was running in some thick mud or something.
Let's see if they get a little passing game going with the tight end here and see if they can get something going.
Wright City has a bunch of players in the box. Bunched formation, snap, hand off to the near side. Shepard across the line of scrimmage. He may gain 1 before being drugged down.
You got to hope Zero was, that was Cooper Lumley. Got rolled up on, but appears to be okay. Those, Kelly, Rodney, you guys know as offensive linemen, nothing worse than blocking,
and
being
engaged,
and getting rolled up on behind.
It's horrible.
Or spiked.
Yeah. I'd rather be spiked.
The long-term prognosis is better with being spiked than rolled up on.
They might have had to wash my mouth out with soap after being spiked, but getting rolled up on wasn't good.
1 yard gain on first down for Shepard. Zero splits to the near side. Harrison calls for the snap, has Shepard to his right. The reverse coming to the near side. Green looks to gain some traction. He does so across the 35-yard line to the 38, but we've got a flag in the backfield in an area where you would oftentimes see holding.
I'm behind the play. Didn't have anything to do with the play. The play was already outside the hash mark, 10 yards downfield when the referee threw the flag.
Well, we'll see if that's in fact what they call. That's a chop block. Equally behind the play and equally damaging. Maybe even damaging by the tune of another 5 yards. I don't know where they'll spot it. Yeah, that's a 15-yarder, folks, and that is crushing. You go from 3rd and 1 or 2 to 2nd and a whole bunch. Ball spotted inside the 15 at the 14.
Besides that penalty on that last play, I thought Green did a really good job of reading his block, and he saw that they had set edge, but had a blocker in front of him and cut it up and was able to get the yardage. So
2nd and around 20. Pass to the right side. Good-looking play, Zerwa, on the little kind of the tunnel screen, if you will, as he was lined up wide to the right, comes back to the quarterback and had some yardage ahead of him, and the ball just went off of his hands, incomplete.
Yeah, it looks like now Ethan Harrison's back in at quarterback. They ran zero there for the first quarter, and it looks like that maybe Harrison's there now, and Zera's back out at his normal receiver spot. So
that's the type of play that we've been calling for, and obviously that one didn't work. The pass was dropped, but I think that's where Louisiana can have some success throwing the football. And obviously you have a 3rd and 20. Timeout's going to be taken by Louisiana. We'll step aside for a break as well. 7:37 left, second quarter. Wright City 14, Louisiana 0. Back with more on Eagle 102 and WBBA Sports after this.
And Pittsburgh Paint, developing into a full-service decorating center, wall covering, and Hunter Douglas custom window treatment. Castile over the years has expanded with home decor, high-quality ladies and children's boutique. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. until 5 p.m., and Saturday, 8 until noon. Let Castile be your one-stop shop. Corner of the square in Pittsfield.
The area's best coverage of high school sports on Eagle 102, brought to you by Pike County Health Department, People's Savings Bank, and Allpark.
After the timeout, Louisiana sets up a 3rd and 20 play. Harrison rolls out to his left and slipped and will lose another 2 or 3 yards. So now it's 4th and about 25, and obviously you would expect at this point Louisiana to punt. It is 4th down. They do have their punt formation out there. Now Harrison will drop back. He'll be kicking from his end zone. He takes the snap, moves into it. Pretty good kick, angling to the right side. It'll be fielded by McRoberts at the 40, to the 30, to the 25, still on his feet. Got a flag on the play. McRoberts is going to get into the end zone, but we've got a flag right here at the 25-yard line. I would anticipate that's going to be some kind of a blocking infraction. McRoberts did get the ball into the end zone, but this one's coming back.
Yeah, I don't believe I'd be kicking to him the rest of the night. I believe I'd hit the sidelines with the punt and be done with that.
Yeah, and I just want to take a moment here to talk about the Cellular and Satellite halftime show coming up. We're going to have Louisiana Athletic Director Matt Cannon on as a guest, talk about, kind of wrap up the fall sports season. Girls softball team made a heck of a run, lost in the district championship to Ellsbury, and kind of talk about the transition into winter sports. So join us at halftime.
Well, in breaking fantasy news, is that Trevor Lawrence will start tonight for the Jaguars.
Well, let's all run out and change our lineups.
Yep.
1st and 10, Wright City. They have it at the Louisiana 35-yard line after the hold prevents or takes the touchdown off the board. So getting into that critical stage of the game now where Louisiana needs to bow up and make a stop.
Or get a turnover.
3 receivers to the near side, 2 to the top of the field, empty backfield. Looking to run that tunnel screen. They do so. Louisiana with a little bit better coverage this time, and going to be a short gain of about 3 or 4.
Yeah. It looked like they may have made an adjustment maybe and got the numbers back even on that. I hope that's what I saw.
Denzel Dowdy with the reception, and Louisiana certainly had that covered better. Maybe a gain of 3 on the play, 2nd and 7.
Rodney's reaction to the Trevor Lawrence fantasy football was sounded like a guy that's not having a fun time in fantasy football this year.
The sweep running left, we've got another flag.
Yeah.
McRoberts is inside the 20 to the 15, still on his feet. He's a load to take down. He's inside the 5, but we've got another flag.
So, regardless of what happened there, I don't know if you saw, but Ethan Harrison was lined up on McRoberts. McRoberts goes in motion, and, Ethan Harrison never moved there, never made an adjustment back to the inside or followed him across on that motion, and I'm not sure what they got set up in that defense to be able to account for that. But there again, there's a numbers game thing that you can't win.
Somebody's got to pick up that receiver.
That's right.
And it was not a receiver. Well, I guess actually in today's football world they do call that a pass. It was just a little pitch as he ran under the quarterback in the formation and had a nice gain. The hold is going to bring it all the way back outside the 35 at the 37. So now instead of 1st and goal to go, you're looking at 2nd and 12.
Could it possibly be Louisiana was in a zone, and that's why they didn't drag somebody along with them?
Could have been, but, usually you got to shift somebody over on the zone because you're still in a number deficit whenever that happens. I mean, that's
similar to what happened with Philadelphia and Kansas City in the Super Bowl.
Now, here we are again. They haven't made that adjustment. Mm-hmm. It almost looks like they're trying to bracket this single receiver.
Louisiana's defense is strong to the near side. The Wright City offense is strong to the far side. That's not good. Handoff up the middle. Still on his feet fighting for yardage is Dowdy. Going to gain about 2. But you saw the numbers. The numbers were backwards.
Yeah,
the numbers were just –
and it has been. There's got to be an adjustment of some sort on the defense whenever they see that. Even if it's Ethan Harrison going up at that point and kicking more inside to be able to help with that inside run. They got to do something with him because basically all he's doing is bracketing. Now, okay, we've got safety over the top on this. We've got trips.
Trips to the near side, single.
Timeout, Wright City.
The single receiver was lined up to the wide to the left. Wright City didn't like what they saw, so they take a timeout with 5 minutes, 4 seconds left with the ball in a 14-point lead. We'll be back with more on Eagle 102 and WBBA Sports after this.
The newly expanded and remodeled facility with accommodations for comprehensive inpatient hospital care and complete outpatient care allows the friendly and knowledgeable staff at Bowling Green Veterinary Clinic to keep your pet healthy and safe so the whole family can cheer on our area team.
It's a great time to buy or sell a home. I'm Vicki Cadwalder, and I take pride in offering skills that make the process go smoothly from beginning to end. Even after closing, I enjoy staying in touch and being there to help you if you have any other needs or questions. Call me, and we'll create a personalized plan just for you. Vicki Cadwalder Real Estate, loving our small town life.
High school sports on Eagle 102, brought to you by Rick Rodhouse, Country Financial Agent, Noah Builders, and Central State Bank of Illinois.
Well, after the timeout, Gendron was nearly drugged down in the backfield, but he broke free and was able to hit Josiah Higgins for a 30-plus yard touchdown, and Wright City has extended their lead to 20 to 0. And a play where you just almost had him down the backfield, Kelly. You just got to get the guy on the ground when you get your hand on him.
It would have helped. And, where was the rest of the defensive line? With that much time, they should have got off their block and got there.
The extra point attempt, bad snap, ball gets on the ground, the kicker just falls on it. So the extra point is no good with 4:57 left. We'll take another break as well. 20-0 Wright City. Back with more on Eagle 102 and WBBA Sports.
Downtown Louisiana.
Since 1939, Ireland and Company has been serving the local agriculture. High school sports on Eagle 102. Brought to you by Cellular and Satellite Center, Pike County Memorial Hospital, and Community State Bank of Missouri.
20-0 is our score here at Wright City. The Wildcats on top of Louisiana. The left-footed kicker moves into it. A good kick. Drives 0 back to the 10-yard line. He comes to the near side, looks to get to the outside. He's at the 15 with a little bit of room to the 20, 25, 30. And will be wrestled out of bounds at the 33. So a pretty good return there by Zerwa as the kick went over his head. He did a nice job of moving back, fielding it cleanly, and getting a good positive yardage.
Yeah, and I believe he had a little more conviction on that return than he did the first one. That looked more like himself than that first return that he made earlier.
Going back to the touchdown pass by Wright City, all of you that are watching on the KJFM WBBA Sports YouTube page would see that the Louisiana defender left his feet to make the tackle, and that was what separates a sack from 6 points.
Yeah.
Harrison comes out, calls for the ball. Shepard offset to his left. Green comes in motion. Now the handoff to Shepard up the middle. Had a hold of the left side, didn't see it, and going to gain maybe one, not much more. Just with the angle from the broadcast booth, you could really see the hole. If he could have just seen that hole to the left side, he had a seam.
Yeah, it looked like you need to make that cut left there. And, Corey, going back to that touchdown pass, Joe Pitzer had coverage on that defender, and although it was better than what we've seen in the past, he let him get away from him just enough to be able to come open. But, the longer that quarterback's able to scramble, the easier it is for them receivers to get open and the harder it is for the defensive backs to cover for that long.
I've watched it with the not just Louisiana, but their opponents all year, and even my son's Little League team, a lot of leaving their feet to make a tackle, and just not good.
Yeah.
I think the play clock has expired. Delay a game against Louisiana. Another penalty. It was 2nd and 10. It'll be 2nd and 15. Ball backed up to the 23-yard line. Or 28-yard line, rather.
I was keeping track. That's number 3.
Yeah, that's what I have, 3 penalties.
Just under 4 minutes left. Wright City in control of this one to this point. Louisiana with the ball facing a 2nd and 15. Shepard stands to his right, takes the snap to the right side. Going to pick up about 3. So that's all he gets. It'll be 3rd and 12.
Yeah, the middle linebacker for Wright City at Carleon Jones, he's doing a pretty good job of placing from tackle to tackle, and he's usually there. It's going to be tough sledding between those tackles if they're not able to get an offensive lineman loose to get a body on him.
We're getting to the point that Louisiana has not scored since the second quarter of the Montgomery City game. Or Montgomery County, I apologize.
Harrison calls for the snap, pitch to the far side. It's Shepard, looks to get the corner, gets across the 30 to the 34-yard line. Back just across the original line of scrimmage. And we're going to be looking at a 3rd and 9 or 10. 3 minutes on the clock. Louisiana It's fourth down, actually. Yes, it's fourth down now. Harrison slides back into the punt formation. It's a fake coming to the near side with the seam. Has some room to the corner, to the 40, still on his feet. First down yardage, stepping out of bounds at the 46-yard line, and Louisiana moves the chain on a nice fake and good execution there and a shot in the arm that Louisiana needed.
Yep. They need that to get across. Blocking was average. Ethan Harrison done a really nice job of getting that corner turned on him. Couldn't catch him.
1st and 10 after the fake punt and the gain in the first down. 1st and 10 from their own 46. Handoff coming near side. Lumley, he drops back, looks to throw. He drops it down for Zierwa, and it is intercepted by McRoberts. He angles back to the left side, tries to get some room to run. He'll be drugged down.
Zierwa is down behind the play.
Zierwa is down. They collided. Zierwa turned into a defender, and Zierwa just rolled over, and he is injured. He is not moving.
You got to hope that it's just the wind knocked out of him.
I think so.
Yeah,
he's almost back up on his own.
It was a pretty big collision with McRoberts, and he is certainly down on the field as the Louisiana staff attends to him. So we will step aside for a break as well. 2:34 left in the second quarter. Back with more on Eagle 102 and WBBA Sports after this.
Congrats to all the area runners who made this year's cross-country All-EMO Conference. From Poke Ford, Brown's Processing and Smokehouse Meat, and People's Bank and Trust.
On every journey, you should enjoy peace of mind. I'm Corey Buchanan at Pike County Mutual Insurance Company. We take pride in keeping you protected. That's why we offer discounts for good students, safe driving, and more. Trust us to look out for the road ahead. For a free insurance quote on your home, auto, farm, or ATV needs, give myself or
Shelley Fluffy
a call today. Pike County Mutual Insurance Company on the square in Bowling Green.
Fellow area high school sports on KJFM Radio. Brought to you by Brown's Processing and Smokehouse Meat, Young Enterprises, and Family Trust.
Zierwa, up under his own power, has come to the sideline. Looks like he's trying to shake off a hit. Wright City has it 1st and 10. Gendron looks to air it out to the right side. Has a man in coverage. Nice job that time by Wyatt Martin in coverage somehow downfield with Jones and tipped the pass away.
I want to go back to the interception. The defensive back has the right to the ball, but did he get there? There was a collision made before the catch was made, and I don't know that. I'd like to look at that on film sometime and see if he got there early and knocked the receiver down and then made the reception. I'm not sure that there wasn't some interference on that.
Well, I would have liked to have seen a second receiver somewhere in there. It was a one-receiver route for Cooper Lumley.
2nd and 10. Quarterback draw right up the middle to the 50, still on his feet to the 46-yard line. Pickup of 7 or 8. It'll be 3rd and 2. Quarterback Joey Gendron just tucked it and headed straight upfield off tackle right and picked up a nice gain of 8. It'll be 3rd and 2.
To stop that play, you have to have defensive line penetration. We got none.
2 minutes even on the clock. In the backfield, Gendron once again going to fall forward for about 3. That's enough to move the chains.
I'll take this time with a little bit under 2 minutes left for halftime to remind everybody to stay tuned to KJFM WBBA Sports for the cellular and satellite halftime show.
Timeout on the field taken by Louisiana. We will step aside with 1:51. Be back with more after this on Eagle 102 and WBBA Sports.
Wax of Boonville, Missouri, Gelve Balancer Bulls. These bulls are 14 months old. They've passed their breathing soundness assessment, have low birth weight and good growth EPD. Bred cows and pairs will sell starting at $12.30 this Friday, October 20th, at Eastern Missouri Commission Company in Bowling Green.
High school sports on your area sports leader, Eagle 102. Brought to you by Bowling Green Tractor, Vicky Cadwalder, Real Estate, and Ingram Plumbing.
After the timeout, Gendron throws to the right flat and bounces it in there for Jones, but the officials looked at it and called it a completion. I could see that bounce from here. 2nd and 5. Gendron looks to pass, has a man wide open in the flat to the left side at the 30, the 25, the 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Caden Allison, Wright City, takes it 35 yards.
I'm not real sure why the Louisiana defender's giving him that much cushion that far down the field.
There was no one in his neighborhood.
No, and, I was kind of watching that route develop, and Blackwell was on coverage there, and it seemed like the further that the receiver come down the field, the more cushion that Blackwell was giving him. I'm not real sure if that's designed. If it is, I need to find out why they design it that way.
McCrory fakes the extra point kick, and it's going to be picked off by Louisiana. The 2-point conversion attempt is no good, picked off by Lumley. So with a minute 23 left, 26-0 is the score. Louisiana will have one more possession here as we wind things down in the second quarter. Back with more after this break on Eagle 102 and WBBA Sports.
It takes time. Dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. That commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
Ask me, Ashley Jenkins, about Shelter's auto, home, and life options. Community State Bank of Missouri in Bowling Green and Troy, where the number one priority is the customer and adding new services to help simplify your life and building a strong, high-performance financial services organization. Community State Bank in Bowling Green and Troy, your community bank since 1887, member FDIC.
Complete coverage of high school sports is on Eagle 102, and it's brought to you by Mid-America Auto and Towing, Perkins Electrical Services, and Pike County Mutual Insurance.
26-0 Wright City will kick it away. McCrory, the strong left-footed kicker, has it teed up at the 40, moves into it, and kicks it down the right side. Blackwell in place for 0. He fields it at the 15, angles to his left, looks to gain a seam, cuts it up, slips past one defender. He'll get it back out to the 30 to the 31, and a decent return, and Louisiana starts from there.
Yeah, should be noted that Zerwa is still on the bench being observed by medical staff. I mean, he's upright and talking with them, but it doesn't look like he's going to come back in this ball game anytime quick.
Well, with the observation they've been doing and his reaction once he got up, back when the dinosaurs roamed the earth and we played, Kelly, they called that getting your bell rung, but it does look like there may be the possibility of a head injury or concussion, and they're going to certainly take a close eye on him. Pass into the flat for Lumley. He steps out of bounds after a gain of about 5. Nice play on first down, stops the clock and moves positive yardage, gains 5-6 yards.
Got a Wright City player down.
Looks like a leg injury is one of the Wright City players down here on the near side in front of the Louisiana bench. Maybe cramping, perhaps? Yeah, they're working on that leg. I bet it looks like it's a cramp. 1 minute, 10 seconds left. Louisiana. You'd like to see them get something positive going, but you certainly don't want to see them give the ball back to Wright City in this second quarter. Louisiana gets the ball to begin play in the third quarter. So pick up some positive yardage. Obviously, if you can spring something, great for points, but you obviously don't want to have Wright City get any more opportunities with the ball in their hands this half.
Right.
So the injured player is off the field. It was Denzel Dowdy, and he's jogging under his own power. Looks like he'll be fine. Louisiana has it 2nd and 5 at their own 36-yard line. Harrison stands in the backfield, has Shepard offset to the right. Snap back, fake, pass to the right side. Lumley looks to get outside. He's going to be hit and dropped for about a 1-yard loss. Had one man to make miss. He couldn't do it.
Yeah, and the problem is it was Carleon Jones that he had to make miss, and he's Carleon Jones, football player.
I'd like to see Lumley more out in some routes instead of just catching this, standing still in these little tunnel screens.
Yeah.
Harrison looks to his right, now back to the left, now back to the right. He's running around the backfield, and that's going to be a grounding, I believe.
Yep, it is.
Intentional grounding. Ethan just ran out of time several different occasions in the course of that play, and
Kelly, you've probably seen what I've seen. They had two screens set up. They had one on the right, one on the left. Nobody was out in a route. Yeah. And as soon as both of those were covered, Ethan didn't have anywhere to go.
He didn't have anywhere to go. Wright City's just playing the base defense. I saw them blitz a little bit early. They're not blitzing. They are just playing their base defense, and they're able to win enough one-on-one battles to keep Louisiana from doing anything on offense.
Well, after the intentional grounding, it's going to march Louisiana back inside their own 20 to the 17-yard line, maybe 18. It's going to be 3rd and about 18. 38 seconds left. And barring something unforeseen,
I believe I would run the ball here, try to get some time off the clock.
Well, at least force Wright City to take a timeout. Empty backfield. He looks to pass. Harrison fumbles the football, picks it back up. Going to be tackled after no gain. That had a lot of potential for bad things.
Yes.
Wright City call a timeout there, Rodney?
Yeah, I believe they did. Timeout Wright City, and with 33 seconds left, they're going to force Louisiana to punt it away here. And, well, we mentioned you don't want to give Wright City another chance with the football, but that's exactly what's going to happen, and they're going to have the ball with probably pretty good field position.
If you're Wright City, do you go in here to block this?
Wright City has the football.
Huh?
Harrison.
Well, so the scoreboard keeper had it as 4th down. The yard marker said it was 3rd down.
That was 3rd down. Hang on. Do you lose a down on Do you lose the down on intentional grounding?
Right.
Then I think it was 4th down, but the yardage marker was wrong. Pass into the end zone is going to be caught for a touchdown. Caden Allison, and we kind of had the inverse of the 5th down situation, and I'm not so sure that Louisiana coaches knew that was a 4th down situation.
Well, so the yard marker said it was 3rd down. The scoreboard said it was 4th down. As a coach, you want to go with what the yard marker says because the referees are controlling that, not somebody up in a scoreboard
Absolutely.
or up in a booth.
I would have certainly made a bigger stink about the fact that, hey, you said it was 3rd down. Extra point attempt on the way is good from McCrory, so it's 32-0 with 25 seconds left here in the second quarter of play. Back with more on Eagle 102 and WBBA Sports after this break.
Eagles Nest Inn Bed Breakfast. Now operating under new ownership. Eagles Nest Inn B&B. Happy to once again provide a charming and inviting lodging experience for your family. Or call 573-725-5108. Looking forward to serving you. The Eagles Nest Inn Bed and Breakfast, Louisiana. Sports on Eagle 102. Brought to you by Rod Prentice and Brenda Crawford, State Farm Agents, Pesky, and Ackles Farm Market.
Louisiana returns the kickoff to about the 38-yard line. 18 seconds left, and at this point you just would expect them to run a play here, get off the field, and recoup and regroup for the second half of play.
Yeah, I don't know. I think if I'm coaching this, I'm down here. I'd take the shot. I mean,
Got 2 timeouts.
you got 2 timeouts. I think I'd take some shots. Safeties are deep.
Harrison takes the snap, rolls to his right, looks to throw, puts it in the air, has a man through the hands of Green at the 48, and he had space.
He had space. Harrison has got on those rollouts, has got to get his shoulders back parallel to the line before he throws the football. And he hasn't done that well all year, and he may not know, but that his shoulder pads have to be parallel to that line of scrimmage going down through there.
I'll tell you what I'd like to see there. There was 3 receivers and routes, and I think he could have threw it to all 3 of them.
Yeah.
Green had some space. Harrison again, this time keeps it, comes to the near side. The 40 across the 45 to the 47. Be about a yard short of the first down.
Yeah, I thought maybe Harrison maybe didn't take the best route there. He had a lead blocker out on that left side, and I think if he had followed him and got on the outside of him, it would have been a bigger gain.
Well, the score is 33-0. Wright City all over Louisiana at this point. The second quarter of play has come to a close. We will be back with the halftime show after this break on Eagle 102 and WBBA Sports.
Plumbing service. But did you know that Ingram's is also the largest retail plumbing supply store in the area? We carry Delta faucets, a complete line of Whirlpool tubs and showers, jacuzzi pumps, and many other specialty items. Stop by Ingram Plumbing today, Highway 61, Bowling Green.
This is Tracy Brookster with Pike County Health Department Home Health and Hospice. Our agency is currently looking to hire multiple positions: RNs, LPNs, CNAs, physical therapist assistants, and breastfeeding care counselor, all from full-time to part-time to contracted. Please visit our website at www.pikecountyhealth.org for more information and to apply online.
Fans, when you attend a high school game, do you stand at attention during the national anthem? Do you cheer a good play by the opposing team? If your team loses, do you take it well in stride? If you answered yes to any of those questions, forget that when you attend high school events, young eyes are watching you for examples of acceptable behavior. By making a conscious effort, you'll be helping our students grow into better citizens. This message is brought to you by your friends at the Missouri State High School Activities Association and KJFM Eagle 102.
All the action from the Eagle 102 broadcast booth, sponsored by Family Drug in Louisiana. It's now time for the Eagle 102 halftime report on KJFM, sponsored by Cellular and Satellite Center in Bowling Green.
Welcome back to the Cellular and Satellite halftime show here in Wright City, as the Wright City Wildcats are up on the Louisiana Bulldogs 33-0. And we're here in the booth with Kelly Henderson, the Louisiana Athletic Director, Matt Cannon, and myself, Corey Radford. Rodney Dolbear's taking a sabbatical for a moment. Matt, welcome to the booth.
Thanks for having me.
And Matt, we had a heck of a run by the Louisiana girls softball team that just came up a little bit short against Ellsbury in the district final just a few days ago.
We did. It was fun. They had a really good year. They've really progressed the last 3 years. 3 years ago they won 3 games. Last year they won 13, and they finished this year with 16-11 and played in a district championship. And we got several key pieces coming back next season.
Yeah, the program's come a long way. The Louisiana softball team has, and they're really fun to watch and really talented. And got some young girls coming up. And Matt, this is your first year,
Second year
with Louisiana. How's things going?
Good. This fall was busy, but it was good. September is the busiest time of the year. I think we looked at the schedule, girlfriend and I, at the beginning of the year, and we only had one day off in September that we didn't have activity going on. So, but no, it was good. Like I said, our middle school had good years. Middle school softball did well, and our middle school football team went undefeated, and they went 11-1 the last 2 years. So
yeah, the middle school football program's been very good for a long time. And what I'd like to see, and maybe you can give us a little bit of clarity on that, is we seem like we're having success on the middle school level, and then we're not getting the athletes to come out at the high school level. How do we get more boys to come out for the football program?
Well, that's a magical question, but I just think just motivation, trying to keep that motivation, and I think this group I think you're going to see that. I think they're going to come out. They're hungry, and they got a good support from parents, and so I think this group could be special, like you said, if they stick with it.
We had Dr. Ward on during the Montgomery County, Louisiana game, and he stressed the importance of having a freshman and a junior varsity program. And it's hard to build a varsity program. I don't care if you're Louisiana or you're any team without developing players on their own level. So you got freshmen against freshmen, or you got freshmen playing even a JV against other sophomores. And so I implore all Louisiana parents to have their children come out for sports, not only just football but softball, because the program gets better with numbers. Do you agree?
Exactly. Any sport. To build a program, you got to have a lower level. You got to have reps. Like in football, like you said, when those kids can find that success, freshman going into freshman, it's hard to come in and find success if you're a freshman or sophomore going up against a senior, and things like that. But you're exactly right. We got to, and unfortunately, we didn't have the numbers this year to have a JV, but that is the plan next year, and hopefully we can do that.
Oh yeah, and we're slowly transitioning out of the fall sports. Softball's over with. Football's still got a little bit of time. I emailed you yesterday because we were trying to figure out the district seedings and everything, and so Louisiana has a chance not to even have a game next week, and their next game could be Friday, November 3rd,
yes,
depending on seedings.
Yeah, the way they restructure this year, 1A, we don't have as many teams as 1A, so we have a 9-team district. So they have a play-in game that the 8-9 plays in, and then everyone else gets a bye, and they'll pick up on the 3rd of November.
And currently, I believe Louisiana is sitting at number 6 overall. I think Van Far's number 3.
4 right now. Crystal City's 3.
Crystal City's 3.
But the way they do that, so Crystal City and Van Far have played each other. Well, since Van Far has beat them in the regular season, they would, if we were at the end of the day, they would leap them and take that 3 spot.
Oh, okay, I see.
There's a lot that goes into it. It's kind of confusing, and if you play bigger schools, you get more points and so on. So there's a lot that could change here this week, this Friday, tomorrow.
Matt, they change the district in football so often. I remember when I was in high school in the mid '90s. Your last 3 games were just against district.
Exactly.
It was Palmyra, Mark Twain, and Highland.
Yeah.
Kelly, I think you're on the headset over there. Kelly will tell you it was different whenever he was in high school. It seems to change every 2 or 3 years.
Yeah,
it does.
We had like a 14-team district at that time, and your top 2 made it on into the playoffs. So, yeah, they've done a lot of changing back and forth over the years.
They had Centralia, Monroe City in the same district whenever I was in high school, and you would have one of the top 5 teams in Class 2, Centralia or Monroe City, not even make it out of districts.
Oh, yeah, that was a powerhouse back then.
Oh, it was unreal. So now we're transitioning into the winter sports. I believe swimming's a winter sport. Is that correct? And
yep.
The swim team will be getting started here soon, and the boys in basketball. When do practices officially start?
Well, junior high has already kicked off. They started the 9th of October. Varsity, they will start on the 30th of this month.
Okay, and physicals and everything, what are they due by a certain
time? Before you play any sport, they have to you have to have physical on file before you can participate. So and most of them, that they played a fall sport, they'll already have that taken care of, and they can go right into it, and they'll already have, their 14-day conditioning requirements.
Now, Matt, what else do they have to do to be eligible and to remain eligible? I know there's grades and maybe some other things.
Yeah, they got to meet the mission requirements and our high school requirements as well. You can't have 2 Fs and be eligible, and we go at Louisiana. We check grades every 4.5 weeks, and if you have anybody that does have F, we put them on. We want to catch it before it's too late, so they have to come in and do tutoring in the morning.
Yeah.
So that way they can get that up, and we can hopefully stay on top of it before it's too late and they become ineligible.
Yeah. Now, Matt, I'm going to ask you a tricky question here a little bit. So in the softball district game the other night, there was what looked like an obvious interference play with our second baseman.
Yes.
That allowed a bunch of runs to happen. So as AD, is there anything, if you see something that obvious in that big a game, is there anything that you can do or would do or whenever you see something like that?
Yeah, well, unfortunately, after that, it's kind of like a situation in basketball or any sport where you may think there's an obvious foul where they don't call it. No, once the umpires and everybody leaves the field, it's considered a game. You can't do anything about it. But no, I mean, I kind of reached out to some people just to kind of get their take on it, but at the end of the day, it's unfortunate, but you go on. But yeah, it was a big time. We had 2 outs at the time. There was a 1-1 ball game, and you just hate to see that happen, but unfortunately, nobody's perfect, and it is what it is.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get you too tricky, but I thought it was something to
No, it was that you're playing a district championship game. There's a lot of emotion, and especially 1-1, 2 outs. You make that play, you're out of the inning there.
Yeah, that's right.
Corey Radford here with Kelly Henderson and Louisiana R2 School District Athletic Director Matt Cannon. And Matt, I'm not going to let you out of here without asking a question about the coaching search for the next football coach. How's that going? When do you feel like it's going to be wrapped up?
Well, right now, we're not looking ahead right now. Matt, Coach Smith's our head coach right now, interim. But like I said, when the season's over and things like that, we can evaluate. And I'm not going to speak out of turn, but I would assume we'll probably open it up and try to see if we can get the best quality candidates to come in and get this program going again.
I understand. And are we looking at before the end of the school year or before the end of the calendar year, or is that kind of just open?
That's something I'll have to sit down and talk with our administration and just kind of see what the school board wants to do. But yeah, I would assume it would be something before we'll start looking before school's out for sure.
That's
yeah. I mean, Matt, do you think in with this position, because what do they say? When does next season start? Immediately after this season ends, because of the weight training and the different things that has to go on.
Exactly.
So do you feel it's important to have somebody in place quickly for that?
Yes, exactly. Like you said, that's one of those things where they think a head coach is only 4 or 5 months of the year, but like Kelly said, it's if you're gonna do a program right, it's 12 months out of the year, and you're constantly checking in on your athletes, and you're getting them in the weight room, and getting them ready for next season. But no, I agree. The sooner we can establish one, the better, and get going for next year.
Yeah,
that sounds good. So we're wrapping up here with Louisiana R2 Athletic Director Matt Cannon here on the Satellite Cellular Halftime Show, KJFM and WBBA Sports. We'll be back in the booth here shortly.
282 to schedule an appointment and to inquire about memberships. Run Multi-Sports Complex just off VFW Road in Bowling Green.
Welcome to Vast National Bank. How can I help you?
Hey, I'm here to talk to someone about a loan.
Oh, I'll grab you the L97B. We call it the Just Talking form.
What about actually applying for a loan?
Oh my, well, let me pop in the toner cartridge. Hey, Bill, you want to pass me the big stapler?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go to People's Savings Bank.
Skip the mega banks. When you need a loan, visit People's Savings Bank. The people you know and trust. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
It's a great time to buy or sell a home. I'm Vicky Cadwalder, and I take pride in offering skills that make the process go smoothly from beginning to end. Even after closing, I enjoy staying in touch and being there to help you if you have any other needs or questions. Call me, and we'll create a personalized plan just for you. Vicky Cadwalder Real Estate, loving our small town life.
From the classic cheesesteak and rich crab cake, a taste of Philly in Bowling Green is a fan favorite. A meal ready for you before or after the game, and game day jerseys are welcome. Open 7 days a week. A taste of Philly. Business Highway 54 West in Bowling Green.
Area High School Sports on Eagle 102. Brought to you by People's Bank and Trust, State Farm and Bowling Green Pharmacy.
We're back here at Wright City. The score at halftime: Wright City 33, Louisiana nothing. We're in the cellular and satellite halftime show. Usually, this would be the time that we would give scores out, but this is the only game in town.
Thursday night, and I think Rodney Dolbear will probably run down the scoring here just shortly. He's getting back in his seat. So, Rodney, do you want to run down the scoring for us?
I will. It's a unfortunately long list, but I will certainly go over the scoring here shortly as we get the lights turned on. The opening score of the game came with 4 minutes and 1 second left in the first quarter. Gendron, the quarterback, takes it in from 11 yards out. The kick was good, 7-0 Wright City. At 8:50 of the second quarter, Dowdy takes it in from 1 yard out. The kick was good. It was 14-0. In the second quarter, after a Louisiana 3 and out, a 35-yard pass to Higgins, the kick no good. It was 20-0 at that point. Allison takes it in from 35 yards, a pass with 2 minutes, 30 seconds left in the half. It was 26-0, 2-point conversion, no good. And just as we got ready to wrap up the second quarter of play, an 18-yard pass, kick was good. That set our final at 33-0, and that was after the and I certainly see what happened. The loss of down on the intentional grounding, the yard markers on the field never got changed, and Louisiana ran a play on what I assume they thought was third down. It was fourth down. That set up the short field, and Wright City was able to capitalize.
Yeah, and you can't blame the coach on that one because, as you guys mentioned earlier, that down marker on the field, to me, always was more official than what was on the scoreboard because your referees that are on the field are checking that down marker, every time, and it just never got changed and the referees never caught it.
No, and I'll be honest, I think if I was a coach, I would have made that position a little bit more vocal than I saw being made. At that point, it's like, hey, guys, look at your down marker. It's third down.
Yeah, that's not quite the same situation as, 15 years ago whenever we saw the third down punt at Van Far.
No, I think that was actually an intentional third down punt.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, Wright City on top, 33-0. Really, kind of went back and forth. Louisiana just needed to make something happen there in that first quarter when they're still in touch, and then things the last half of the second quarter just got away from the Bulldogs.
Yeah, and Wright City's got a pretty fair football team. I think they're either second or third in the EMO conference. They've got some good athletes on the field. I don't know across the board if we could match up with them 11 on 11 and say that we're equal because I just don't think it's there. But Louisiana should be able to make some headway here in this second half, hopefully, if they make a few adjustments and are able to figure a couple things out.
Well, they've got some good players. I tell you, the one that's impressed me the most, just seems like he's in the middle of things on offense and defense both, is Carleon Jones.
Yeah.
He's like you said, Kelly, the first half, he's a football player.
Yeah, he's a football player. He sure is. And he looks like he has, on top of the athletic ability, it looks like he has a pretty good head for football. He anticipates well. Looks like he knows the game pretty well. And they're not doing anything really special with him on defense. They just went to playing a base defense, and again, they're able to outman Louisiana in their base defense, and that Corleone Jones is a big reason why they're able to do that.
Absolutely. Well, we're winding things down. It was homecoming this evening. Had a 20-minute halftime. We've got about 3 minutes, 55 seconds left on the clock before we get things underway. We'll step aside for one more break on the halftime show. Back with more after this on Eagle 102 and WBBA Sports.
For Matthew at 573-324-8282 to schedule an appointment and to inquire about memberships. One multi-sports complex just off DFW Road in Bowling Green.
I'm Kylie Mills, the CEO of Pike County Memorial Hospital. You've heard it from your friends, family, and even neighbors. They choose Pike County Memorial Hospital. Quality care from quality people. Pike County Memorial Hospital.
Bowling Green Tractor wants to change the way you think about yard work with their Ego 56-volt ARC lithium battery-powered lawnmowers, weed eaters, blowers, trimmers, and chainsaws. At Bowling Green Tractor, you can walk in and see for yourself just how easy these products are to handle. Bowling Green Tractor, your home for Ego. Power beyond belief.
Your car, your stuff, your savings. Combine your auto and renter's insurance with a call to State Farm Insurance agent Cindy Blaylock in Louisiana. And let Cindy show you how to put life back in your life insurance. Auto, home, and life. Make your wallet happy. Here to help life go right, State Farm Insurance agent Cindy Blaylock in Louisiana.
Follow area high school sports throughout the season on Eagle 102. Brought to you by Veolia Landscape Supply, Royal Paints, and a taste of Philly.
Set to get things underway here in a few minutes at Wright City. The Wildcats on top of Louisiana 33-0 at the half. Rodney Dolbear here alongside Kelly Henderson and Corey Radford, bringing this game to you on a Thursday Night Lights version of high school football. Been talked about a little bit. I think there was some trouble getting officials for the traditional Friday night start, so they moved it up to Friday at 5:30, and here we are.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about maybe why, and it's just strictly guess why they done this game at 5:30, and one of the only things that we can guess is maybe because the football game's a little longer than some of your other sports games, that they wanted the kids to be able to get home and get to bed and get up and get to school the next day.
Well, that kind of makes sense, I suppose, and obviously we're starting to normally at 7 o'clock, so this game's an hour and a half ahead of that schedule, and it was scheduled such that the skies cleared. We have the west-facing press booth and this press box, and we were able to get a nice dose of the sun before it finally set over the western horizon.
Yeah, and I was just trying to figure out if I'm Louisiana, and I come out this second half, what I've got to do, and they get the kick, and it looked like they're at the end of the second quarter that they had their little wide receiver screen, tunnel screen, whatever you want to call it. They kind of had it going a little bit, but the offensive line is going to have to do a better job and hold their protection for just a little bit longer and give Ethan a little bit of time. And with Zerwa, questionable to return to this game, they've got a tough hill to get over.
Well, the time is running out on the scoreboard. I know oftentimes they put another 3 minutes on it. Louisiana has not returned to the field yet, so they haven't warmed up. And you mentioned Alex Zerwa. He is most likely not coming back. He didn't go in with the team at halftime. He is speaking with his mom on the track right now. Here comes the rest of Louisiana back onto the field. and they do put another 3 minutes on, but it looks like Zero will not be back this afternoon or this evening in this football game.
Rodney, let's take another little break, and then we'll come back here in a minute.
We'll do that. Back with more on Eagle 102 and WBBA Sports after this.
Pay bills, transfer funds between accounts, check the latest activity on your account, and view images of your checks, all from the convenience of your desktop and smartphone. So start banking on your schedule and download the People's Bank and Trust app today. People's Bank and Trust, hometown banking the way it should be. Member FDIC.
Brown's Processing and Smokehouse Meats is your first stop when stocking your freezer. Brown's has frozen chicken, steaks, brats, and burgers ready to go. For wholesale and custom butchering, Brown's is your first call. It's where quality meets service. Brown's Processing and Smokehouse Meats. For your meat processing, smokehouse meat, and homemade sausage. Just off Highway 61 in Silas. The area's best coverage of high school sports on Eagle 102, brought to you by Pike County Health Department, People's Savings Bank, and Allpark.
And welcome back to the Cellular and Satellite Halftime Show. Both teams are getting back out on the field doing their warm-ups. Still got a little bit of time left here. And, of course, I want to talk a little bit about this upcoming weekend. It's the third weekend in October. That means it's Color Fest. Of course, the parade kicks off 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. on Georgia Street. I think it kicks off out at Raintree Mall or the high school. I believe it's the high school. And it, ends up downtown in front of all the stores and down in Main Street. Always want to talk about Cindy Blaylock as one of our great sponsors, and Cindy's one of the I guess you call head honchos of the Louisiana Alumni Friends Association. Of course, they're having the dinner and then the dance with Country Soul this Friday night at the Legion. Country Soul starts playing about 9 o'clock. It's a great time up at the Legion Post 370.
Is it Friday?
No, Saturday night. Saturday night.
Yeah.
Oh, I apologize. Saturday night.
Well, and you got to start your day off right with the American Legion breakfast.
Oh,
you just don't do Color Fest without the American Legion breakfast.
If I could come up, that's always a tradition.
Yeah.
I believe it's all you can eat, and it's a well put together event. And Rodney, your Saturday, is it going to be spent over at homecoming at Mizzou?
Homecoming at Mizzou. South Carolina comes to town, and Tigers look to improve to 7-1 on the season. It's a 2:30 kickoff, so right now the weather looks like it's going to be great. So I hate to miss the Color Fest festivities, but I'm looking forward to a good fall day watching some college football as well.
Well, and isn't homecoming, Mizzou invented that, correct?
They did. There's a few universities that claim it, but the homecoming celebration actually started as University of Kansas and Missouri had played about 15 or 20 football games, and they were all being played in Kansas City at the time. And the long and the short of it is the university administration thought it was too violent, and they set up some new rules to make the football games have to be played on college campuses. The University of Missouri sent out about 300 letters, postcards to former lettermen and asked them to come home, and that's what started homecoming. Well, after all of that, Wright City puts it in play, kicks it to the far side, fumbled by Blackwell. He picks it back up at the 15, comes to the near side, tries to make a man miss, and he'll be wrestled down at the 25-yard line. Blackwell's shaken up a little bit, took a pretty hard hit right at the end of that play.
Yeah, he tried to jump over the first tackler, and he didn't quite get up high enough.
No, that hurdling the player looks good on TV. It doesn't work very well really at any level, but especially it did not work that well for Jamal.
I can't tell if he came down on his shoulder or his back. It felt like he came down on his back pretty hard. Once again, kind of like Zero, you're just hoping that it was the wind knocked out of him.
Yeah. Well, he tried to hurdle. He got his feet clipped, and while he was going down, he got popped by another Wright City defender. So, not definitely want him to be okay. There's another starting receiver that's, if he's not, is down. And, Louisiana's been pretty fortunate with injuries most of the year, but, losing Zerwa, and if that Blackwell has to set out anytime, especially on offense, it's really going to handicapped the Louisiana offensive play caller.
Jamal's up and navigating under his own power off the field. The medical staff has taken a look, and he's just walking to the sideline, so he'll be out at least one play, but it looks like he's going to be all right, and Louisiana will have it first and 10.
Is that number 5 or number 9?
That was injured?
Yes.
Well,
I
thought it was number 5.
I did too, but it appears to be number 9.
Well, that's Shepard. Well, we'll take a look here.
It is Brady.
And the pitch to Green, I thought it was going to be a reverse. Green's going to lose about 3 yards. That was an odd look. Louisiana had trips to the near side and it looked like it was going to be a reverse to Green. He took the pitch and then spun back around and just headed upfield. Going to lose about 2. It'll be 2nd and 12.
Yeah, you see the Chiefs run that little shovel pass like that on a counter move.
And, if Brady's parents and family are watching, Brady's back in the game. Brady Shepard.
And this time, Harrison cuts it right upfield behind Shepard, gets back past the original line of scrimmage, picks up about 4. It'll be third down and 8. Try and do a better job of keeping track of the down and distance. Of course, we can only do – if you can't do any better than the chain gang, I don't know what we're expecting. 3rd and 8. Harrison stands with Shepard offset to his right. Puts Green in motion across the formation. Handoff faked. Harrison keeps it. Crosses the line of scrimmage. Might pick up 1. It's going to be 4th and long for Louisiana. Just underway third quarter. 33-0 is the score.
Yeah, we just are not winning the line of scrimmage battle at all.
So Louisiana in their standard punt formation. Harrison drops back to kick. End over end kick. And McRoberts falls on it, catches it at the 39-yard line and kind of put it on the ground and wisely just covered up, and Wright City will have it there. Just underway, 10 minutes, 11 seconds left in the third quarter. The Wildcats with the ball and a 33-point lead.
It'd be a good time to remind everyone, we're not sure of Louisiana's schedule next week. We're not sure if I don't think they're going to fall down low enough to the 8-9 where they're going to have to play, so they're likely going to not have a game. Their next game will most likely be Friday, November 3rd in a district playoff game.
Gendron comes out and sets the offense, has 2 backs in the backfield, 1 offset left, 1 right. Handoff to the first man through, into the backfield, into the second level.
Got a flag.
It was McRoberts, hit at the line of scrimmage. He didn't go down, and he picked up about 9 or 10 yards. However, it looks like this one's going to be coming back.
So, of course, the flag's going to take it back. But again, Louisiana had numerous bodies on the ball carrier early at the line of scrimmage. And for some reason, they just refused to wrap up whenever they're meeting that, and it's plagued them all year long.
Well, Wright City finds themselves behind the chains now, 1st and 20 at their own 28-yard line, and it'd be a really good time. To keep them behind the chains. Handoff comes to the near side. Now fake with the quarterback, Gendron, to the 40-yard line across the 40, near the 45. Run out of bounds on the far sideline. Gain about 11 or 12 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 8. We'll see where the spot comes in.
Yeah, your defensive end on that side, I believe is Polston. He got hooked inside and couldn't fight his way back outside the set edge. He's got to realize when he starts feeling pressure to get hooked inside, he's got to get back outside of that blocker.
Gendron has a single back offset to the right. 2 receivers to the near side, 2 to the top of the field. Pitch to the near side. McRoberts makes a man miss, still on his feet, into the defensive backfield with the stiff arm at the 40 to 35, 33-yard line. DeJuan McRoberts is another good football player.
Yeah.
Went from 1st and 20 to what they gained, about 40 yards there in 2 plays.
Yeah.
That they did. They'll have it at the Louisiana 32-yard line, 1st and 10.
Well, and if you watch anything that's even slightly outside, even off tackle, their offensive line's just dominating the Louisiana defensive line, and they're able to seal off everything. Again, I think whenever the Louisiana defensive line gets tired, they just engage and they don't fight and try to get free of the blocks.
Two receivers in the backfield with Gendron. Handoff to the right running back. This time a nice job by Louisiana. Not going to be much there.
Yeah.
Might pick up one.
There's some of that penetration we're looking for.
Denzel Dowdy took the handoff and was met immediately by a host of Bulldogs. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Playing offensive and defensive line, Kelly, is this simple. If you're the offensive lineman, you want to get your hands on the defensive lineman. If you're a defensive lineman, you want to keep their hands off the off of you.
That's exactly right.
That's offensive and defensive line play one-on-one.
Snap back, throw it into the flat for Jones, makes a one-handed catch at the 30. Still on his feet to the 25-20, fights for yardage, and will be driven out of bounds inside the 15. We'll see where they say he stepped out. Going to be very near the 15. It'll move the chains, and that ball was on the far side of the field being carried like a loaf of bread, but Jones maintained possession and had a nice game.
Yeah, I was hopeful Louisiana's defense was going to make some halftime adjustments on that play, but it looks like they're still doing the same thing with that.
Kelly, talking about defensive line play here, you've always been one that wants your defensive linemen to shoot the gap. You don't want them just to occupy the offensive line so your linebackers can flow down and make the plays.
Right.
Single back in the backfield. McRoberts takes the handoff, runs off tackle to the left side inside the 15 to about the 12, gain of 4 or 5 on first down. They had spotted the ball at the Louisiana 17. It'll be 2nd down and about 5 or 6.
It does so many things where that defensive lineman, at least one of them, is able to penetrate quickly. It messes up timing. It messes up angles. There's a lot of things that it can mess up, and you would like to think that out of your 4 defensive linemen that you can at least get one, through a gap quickly and hopefully 2 to 3.
McRoberts stands to the left of Gendron. Dowdy to the right. Dowdy takes the handoff right up the middle, crossing the 10-yard line. Inside the 10, they'll mark him down at about the 8. It'll be 3rd down and short, I believe. He did not gain enough for the first down. They did. They gave him the first down, so now it's 1st and goal to go inside the 10-yard line at about the 6-yard line.
And when you're talking about the future of the program here, you want it to have success, but I think bringing in a head coach with a background of offensive line, defensive line mentality, build from the inside out.
Yeah.
2 backs in the backfield, handoff to McRoberts, jump stop, jump cut. He's going to walk into the end zone, touchdown, actually with the carry. This time it was Corleone Jones, and he had a really nice jump cut there in the backfield to make a man miss, and he just takes it around the right tackle and into the end zone. And it's 39-0, 7:12 left here in the 3rd quarter of play. McCrory on to attempt the extra point. Bad snap once again. The holder just falls on it. So McCrory's only misses for kicking the ball have been 2 bad snaps. 7:12 left in the 3rd quarter, 39-0 Wright City. Back with more on Eagle 102 and WBBA Sports after this.
Your community bank since 1887, member FDIC. When you're looking for a taste of Italy in Pike County, visit Gambino's Eatery in Louisiana, just a block from the riverfront on 3rd and Georgia. Create your own pasta dish. Experience the Gambino family recipe meatballs in a toasted garlic bun. Or enjoy some Italian wine with friends while indulging in cannoli dip with cinnamon sugar chips. Italian-American cuisine that's sure to tantalize your taste buds. Gambino's Eatery, 3rd and Georgia, downtown Louisiana.
Area high school sports on Eagle 102, brought to you by Rick Rodhouse, Country Financial Agent, Noah Builder, and Central State Bank of Illinois.
McCrory kicks it down the middle of the field this time. It's rolling around. Blackwell picks it up inside his own 5, cuts outside to the 10, looks to gain a little bit of borrow at the 15. Oh, he runs back to the 10. He's going the wrong direction. And Jamal Blackwell is going to be wrestled down ultimately at about the 15-yard line and lost a few yards there trying to make something happen.
Yep. He ran about 70 yards and lost probably 3 yards from where he picked the ball up. But it just happens that way. And I think Blackwell, I think this is his first year playing, so that's something maybe with a little experience that he will learn as time goes on.
I'll tell you what, that between you talking about the American Legion breakfast this Saturday and that Gambino's commercial, I'm hungry, Kelly.
Yeah.
I want a meatball from Gambino's.
Green comes in motion across the formation. Handoff right up the middle to Shepard. Across the 10-yard line to the 15. And a gain of about 4 to 5 yards on first down. Going to spot the ball actually at the 20. First, and there will be second down and 5 now. Call it 6. Pitcher splits wide to the right side. Lumley to the near side. Harrison calls for the snap. Hands off to Shepard again. Runs into a wall of defenders. About the 20. It'll be 3rd and 6 again.
Yeah.
Louisiana's got a lot of plays, if you've noticed, both their edge plays, their reverses or jet sweeps, or their gives up the middle, where there's no one leading the back or the ball carrier. And I think they would do better if maybe they had an extra back in the backfield to lead, maybe get an extra block.
It is, but, in the spread, they what they're trying to do, spread it out and let that back be able to make that move and be able to go. But I don't care what offense you're running, you've got to at least stalemate the line of scrimmage, and Louisiana's offensive line hasn't been able to do that very much tonight.
Timeout taken on the field here, 5:08 left in the third quarter. Timeout Louisiana. We'll step aside for a break as well. Back with more after this from Eagle 102 and WBBA Sports.
As many as 50% of people don't take their medication as prescribed. Missing or not taking medication can be deadly. For questions about medication, visit your local Health Mart pharmacy, Bowling Green Pharmacy, located right on the square at 8 North Court in Bowling Green.
This is Tracy Brookser with Pregame Health Department Home Health and Hospice. Our agency is currently looking to hire multiple positions: RNs, LPNs, CNAs, physical therapist assistant, and breastfeeding care counselor, all from full-time to part-time to contracted. Please visit our website at www.pikecountyhealth.org for more information and to apply online.
Area High School Sports on Eagle 102. Brought to you by Cellular and Satellite Center, Pike County Memorial Hospital, and Community State Bank of Missouri.
3rd and 7 after the timeout. Harrison calls for the snap, puts Green in motion to his left. Fake to Green. Now Harrison keeps it, cuts upfield, has first down yardage into the backfield near the 40-yard line. Nice play there. The fake to Green got the defense moving to their right. Ethan was able to cut it back up to his right, the defensive left, and picked up about 15 yards, and the chains will move. 1st and 10, Louisiana.
Yep, typical option play there. Harrison saw that maybe it'd be better if he kept it and cut it up, and he made the right decision there.
Ethan's best run in weeks.
Pitch to Shepard coming to the near side, the 40, still on his feet, 43-yard line, and a gain of about 4 on the play.
I'm glad to see him using Brady Shepard in more ways than just handing it to him and just running into defensive linemen. They're using him a little bit more on the edge tonight, and Brady's having success.
2nd and 6. Ball outside the Louisiana 40 at the 43. Harrison checks his armband. Has Shepard offset to the left behind him. Green and Lumley on the near side. Pitcher wide to the right. Green in motion. Handoff right up the middle. Shepard still on his feet, fighting for yardage. Going to be very near, and I believe past first down yardage.
Looks like it to me.
Ball will be spotted right at midfield. 1st and 10, Louisiana.
Guys, I don't know if you've seen it. It looked like some of the offensive linemen may have thought they were going on 2 there, and The rest of them knew they were going on one. Half the offensive linemen didn't even move.
Well, whatever it is, it kind of worked.
Handoff again to Shepard. Across the 50, still on his feet into the backfield. Cuts to his right, first down yardage, inside the 40 to the 35. First down, Louisiana.
Yeah, just a great blocking on the inside, great hard blocking or hard running by Brady Shepard there. Kelly, going back to that play before where half the linemen went off, is that an option play for the lineman? You have the option to go on one, too.
Well, I don't know. Maybe you go with, if I don't move, the defense won't move.
Harrison hands to Shepard once again. Again, big hole off the right side. He'll gain about 7 on first down. It'll be 2nd and 3.
Good hard running by Brady Shepard on this drive. I think this is the first time Louisiana's been on the Wright City side of the 50.
Well, they had a short field early before turning it back over after the stop on downs. Harrison fakes to Shepard into the backfield, crosses the 20-yard line, one man to beat to the pylon. Touchdown, L.A. Bulldogs. Ethan Harrison on the keeper.
Just great blocking by Louisiana there, still off the edge. All Ethan Harrison had to do is beat the defender one-on-one, and Ethan got out on the outside, and a nice touchdown run by Ethan Harrison. Louisiana showing some signs of life here.
Well, and it looked like some different play calling on the offense that time, that some things we hadn't seen tonight. So maybe they've spotted something in the defense where they think they can get it out.
Lumley with the pass for the 2-point conversion. I believe it's going to be intercepted. It's incomplete. The 2-point conversion try is no good. Louisiana gets on the board, 39-6, 2:29 left in the third. Back with more after this on Eagle 102 and WBBA Sports.
ATV needs, give myself or call today. Pike County Mutual Insurance Company, Square and Bowling Green.
Ingram Plumbing has always been known for its outstanding plumbing service. But did you know that Ingram's is also the largest retail plumbing supply store in the area? We carry Delta faucets, a complete line of Whirlpool tubs and showers, jacuzzi pumps, and many other specialty items. Stop by Ingram Plumbing today, Highway 61, Bowling Green.
Thorough area high school sports on KJFM Radio. Brought to you by Brown's Processing and Smokehouse Meats. Prizes and Family Drive.
Louisiana gets on the scoreboard, and Ethan Harrison will tee it up at the 40-yard line. And a little offensive success, a nice drive for Louisiana. Started inside or around their own 15-yard line, so an 85-yard drive leads to the first points for the Bulldogs here this evening. Harrison moves into it. Squib kick, offside kick, ball's loose. Looks like Louisiana has it. They do. Louisiana with the recovery. One of the up men got a hand on it from Wright City, and Louisiana with the recovery. They'll have it on the 46-yard line of Wright City, so on the right side of midfield here, and a chance to get a little more positive momentum going.
I believe the up man for Wright City would have been better off, and he stuck his hand out and knocked the ball down. He'd be better off to just let it on through.
Well,
but he knocked her down so that let the Louisiana, I believe there'd be a little hands team work come Monday for that one.
He was moving to his right and just got a hand on it to his left, and it was just laying there ready to be pounced on. Interesting formation. Harrison looks to option to the right side, pitches to Shepard. And not much there. Going to be a loss of about 3.
Yeah. Wright City played that well, read it well, covered quarterback well, covered pitch man well. So not much with that time.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Louisiana shouldn't have got an illegal substitution there because the player ran all the way off the field.
And then came back on and set up on the near side. Blackwell is still on the sideline. Lumley splits wide to the left side. Harrison takes it, hands off to Shepard. Not much there. Going to gain about 3. Not even 3. Gain of 1. It'll be 3rd and 12. Ball will be spotted at the 47.5-yard line of Wright City. Louisiana looks to move the chains. 1 minute, 28 seconds left in the third quarter. After a successful onside kick, they got the ball back in Wright City territory. 3rd and 12. Green comes in motion to the right. We're going to have a penalty flag. It's going to be another delay of game. A false start, they said. I thought he gave the delay of game, but he was facing the home bleachers, so I couldn't see it. Nonetheless, it's a 5-yard penalty.
Number 5 or 6. Penalties. I think it's number 5.
Well, they marked off 4 yards, which was nice. It was 3rd and 12.5, and it's 3rd and 16 now. Harrison calls for the snap, rolls out to his right, looks to put it in the air, has a man in the backfield, steps up, throws it downfield, has a man open on the far sideline. That's Green with the reception.
And I don't think he quite got there.
Nice gain. It'll be 4th and about 1 or 2.
And that's the route that, we've been calling for. I haven't seen that route run since South Callaway, the little just out pattern.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're going to say it was incomplete.
Oh.
I did not see that. The ball was on the far side of the field, and it looked like a clean reception to me.
Well, maybe the receiver stepped out whenever he caught it. I just don't know.
After all of that, it's 4th and 16. Offense stays on the field. Play clock runs out, but I don't think they ever reset the play clock. They never reset the play clock. I don't know what's happened. They've
timeout, Louisiana.
Called a timeout. Louisiana's called a timeout. We'll step aside for a break as well. Just under a minute left, third quarter. 39-6 is our score from Wright City. Back with more on Eagle 102 and WBBA Sports after this.
Starting this program 6 years ago, PSB has been able to give back over $120,000. Open an account online at ourpsb.com or stop by our branch. We are the one with a bright blue roof. Start earning the Bowling Green School District money today just by using your debit card. Member FDIC.
A classic cheesesteak and rich crab cake. A taste of Philly in Bowling Green is a fan favorite. A meal ready for you before or after the game. And game day jerseys are welcome. Open 7 days a week. A taste of Philly. Business Highway 54 West in Bowling Green. High school sports on your area sports leader, Eagle 102. Brought to you by Bowling Green Tractor, Vicky Cadwalder, Real Estate, and Ingram Plumbing.
After the timeout, 4th and 16 fake, Harrison had Lumley behind the defense, and the pass sailed over his outstretched arms at the Wright City 30-yard line, so Louisiana will turn it over on downs.
Yeah.
And the ball spotted just inside Louisiana territory at their own 49.
Cooper Lumley made a nice double move route and got by 2 guys trying to cover him, and we just couldn't quite get the ball delivered to him.
So, as we approach the end of the third quarter, Wright City has it back. They'll have 2 backs in the backfield alongside the quarterback. He'll hand off to Dowdy, cutting through the 35, still on his feet outside, inside the 35 to the 37 or the 33-yard line.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Dowdy ran into his own man downfield and slowed him up a little bit, or I think it had been 6 more points for Wright City.
Well, they'll have to run one more play here in the third quarter as the play clock stands at 25. Game clock 2 seconds behind that at 27. 1st and 10, ball at the Louisiana. They mark it at the 34-yard line. Dowdy and McRoberts stand offset left and right of Gendron. Handoff to the near side. McRoberts into the backfield. He's going to walk it in. Showed an incredible burst, and he'll take it in from 34 yards. Wow. And touchdown, McRoberts.
That's a 14-point, or at least a 12-point swing there. I mean, Louisiana should have walked in on that pass.
Yeah.
On a touchdown, they turn around 2 plays later and Wright City's back in the end zone.
Yeah, you have to execute whenever you have your opportunities. You have to execute whenever you don't. Whenever you don't, those are things that happen to you.
So McCrory comes on to attempt the extra point. He's been solid tonight. When the snap's been good, he's made it. Left-footed kicker. This time it's blocked. Incomplete, so I jinxed him, I suppose. But with 5 seconds left here in the third quarter, 45-6 is our score. Back with the fourth quarter after this on Eagle 102.
It takes time. Because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
Ask me, Ashley Jenkins, about Shelter's auto, home, and life options.
Role models are more important than ever in today's society. You can serve as a role model for others the next time you display good sportsmanship at a high school athletic event. We're also vital to preserving our fine sports tradition. So the next time you attend a sporting event, remember to be a good sport and help rekindle the spirit of citizenship. This message was brought to you by your friends at the Missouri State High School Activities Association and Eagle 102.
Eagle 102, and it's brought to you by Mid-America Auto and Towing, Perkins Electrical Services, and Pike County Mutual Insurance. Hear all the action from the Eagle 102 broadcast booth, sponsored by Family Drug in Louisiana.
After the kick, Harrison, he might break it. He's at the 50, to the 40, to the 30. Ethan Harrison to the house. Touchdown at the end of the third quarter. L.A. Bulldogs.
Boy, what a great job Ethan Harrison did that time of seeing where his blocks was going to be set up at and being able to adjust his speed until he saw the lane and was able to turn the jets on.
Let his blocking set up for him, did a nice job. It was a strong kick. It was the deepest kick of the day from McCrory. Harrison fielded it above his head and was never touched. And just like that, Louisiana answers 45-12 here at the end of the third quarter. I believe that's the second return for a touchdown this year for Louisiana. Opener against Bowling Green. I believe Green had one.
Yeah.
2-point conversion. Harrison calls for the snap. Hands off to the near side. Lumley cuts it up. He's going to walk it into the end zone. I wondered if they would give that look. Lumley has been passing that ball, and that time he just tucked it and easily walked into the end zone. So as we begin the fourth quarter here shortly, it'll be 45-14 Wright City on top of Louisiana. Back with more after this on Eagle 102 and WBBA Sports.
If you call an 800 number and they say we will be the local installer, they are wrong.
Contact Matthew at Sailor and Satellite Center in Bowling Green, your local authorized dealer. It's a great time to buy or sell a home. I'm Vicky Cadwalder, and I take pride in offering skills that make the process go smoothly from beginning to end. Even after closing, I enjoy staying in touch and being there to help you if you have any other needs or questions. Call me, and we'll create a personalized plan just for you. Vicky Cadwalder Real Estate, loving our small town life.
Area high school sports on Eagle 102. Brought to you by Rod Prentice and Brenda Crawford, State Farm Agent, Husky, and Ackles Farm Market.
3-yard touchdown kickoff return for a touchdown. Ethan Harrison, he'll tee it up at the 40 and kick it back to Wright City as we begin play. This one's an onside kick, but it's not going to get the 10 yards. It'll roll out of bounds.
Yeah.
Only traveled about 3 yards. Louisiana looking to onside kick it again. Just didn't get the required 10 yards.
Yeah.
You got to think Ethan's legs are probably a little bit tired after the last 5 minutes or so.
Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit. Yeah, I think I think if his foot was a golf club, you would look at it to see if you put an idiot mark on it, as they call that.
Thought you were going to mention the S word there for a second. I
Well,
was going to take exception to it.
We don't like to say that word out loud. Not like Beetlejuice or Bloody Mary or something there. We don't say the S word.
1st and 10. Wright City has it inside Louisiana territory. Ball spotted at the 43-yard line. Looks like at least the starting skill position still in the football game. For Wright City, Glenn Gendron, hands off, hitting the backfield. That's ball's out. Louisiana's going to get it, I think.
Back out.
Denzel Dowdy on the carry, got spun around. I thought they could have called a horse collar tackle there. I don't know the high school rule. I learned last week that horse collar's okay as long as you do it inside the tackle box. Which I see
that. And here's the deal. I think that horse collar, you have to have your hand inside of their shoulder pads. And he just had the jersey. He never got his hand inside of the shoulder pad.
Well, after all of that, Wright City recovers the fumble. They have it 2nd and 8. 2nd and 8.
A lot of confusion here by Wright City's offense.
Play clock at 10.
Flag
on the play. What are they going to call?
Anything but a delay.
Well, the play clock had 10 seconds on it.
Ball start.
There's a
lot of linemen going up and down there. Like I said, a lot of confusion.
So it'll be 2nd and 13. Ball spotted at the Louisiana 46-yard line. Joey Gendron. He has Dowdy and McRoberts offset left and right. Single receiver to the near side is Allison. He has a touchdown tonight. Handoff, McRoberts running to the right side, into the defensive backfield, looks to get to the corner. He does so to the 20, to the 15, to the 10, to the 5, to the pylon, to the house. Wright City. McRoberts packs on 6 from 46 yards out.
Just a simple little up in the B gap to the running back, and Wright City's offensive line won every match that they had along that line. So they beat the Louisiana defensive line and the linebackers.
Well, McCrory is 3 of 6 attempting extra points tonight. Gendron, the quarterback, is the holder. Snap back, ball down. This one's long enough, and it is good. 52-14 is now our score. 10:41 left in this ball game. Back with more on Eagle 102 and WBBA Sports after this.
is happy to once again provide for your family, friends, and business guests. For reservations, visit eaglesnestmbb.com. Bed and breakfast in Louisiana.
Well, McCrory this time from the 40-yard line, and that football took a direct path to the right sideline, out of bounds in the air, and I don't think that was exactly how he wanted to hit it.
Boys, I've had a lot of golf shots that look like that.
I think the proper word there, maybe not the proper word, but so you don't have to use the S word, is a lateral.
It was a lateral.
Yeah.
Ball will be placed down at the Louisiana 30 8-yard line. They'll have it 1st and 10, trailing 52-14. Harrison has a man, Green. He fakes it. Harrison hitting the backfield, still fighting for yardage. Going to gain a couple, actually.
You know, I'm not sure. I think Harrison had the option there to hand that ball, and he should have handed the ball there.
Updated score from New Orleans is the Jacksonville Jaguars are up on the New Orleans Saints 7-3. I appreciate all you that are listening to us instead of watching that game. We'll give you updates.
2nd and 7 after the 3-yard gain. Harrison stands with one back in the backfield. That's Shepard offset to the left, 2 receivers to the near side. Shepard running hard across the line of scrimmage. He'll fight for yardage, pick up about 4. Ball will be spotted down about the Louisiana 45-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 3. $9:44 left in this one. Wright City on top and in control, but Louisiana has seen some life in their offense in the second half, and certainly you always want to keep working on things, and it's good to see them have a little bit of success. Green comes in motion across the formation, handoff Shepard, fighting for yardage, going to gain about 5 or 6 more. That'll move the chains. Ball will be spotted right at midfield.
Yeah, Wright City's taken a lot of their starters out. You know, Corleone Jones is gone, amongst many other starters.
Pitcher splits to the top of the field. Blackwell comes in. Shepard dinged up a little bit. Looked like he might have twisted an ankle or something there at the conclusion of that run. So Blackwell back on the field. Green slides into the backfield, offset to the right of Harrison. Under center. Handoff Green across the right side. Another 5-yard gain on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and 5. Ball at the Wright City 45-yard line.
Louisiana's just matriculating the ball down the field.
Yeah.
But it's good to see him getting some positive yardage.
Yeah.
8:19 left, 20 seconds on the play clock. Handoff Green to the right side. 1st down yardage, still on his feet inside the 40 to the 37-yard line. Maybe 38's where they'll mark him down. 1st down, Louisiana.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's just a statement that maybe Wright City, their starters are just a little better than Louisiana starters, because once they pulled their starters, you know, we're winning the line of scrimmage. We're able to move the ball.
Harrison looks at his armband, gets the play with 15 on the play clock, coming at under 10 as he takes the snap. Handoff to Green, cuts to his left, still on his feet. Nice gain, 1st down yardage. He'll be tackled after moving the chains on 1st down. Ball will be spotted. We'll see where they spot it. They are motioning 1st down. I don't think he's short. One official was motioning 1st down, but incorrect. 2nd and 1.
Well, the down marker says 1st down, but they didn't move the chain. So there you go. Now you got it right.
2nd and short. Ball right in the middle of the field. Green offset to the left. Harrison takes the snap, fakes it, cuts it upfield. 1st down yardage. Ethan Harrison to the left side, fights for the pylon. He will get there. Touchdown, L.A. Bulldogs, and Louisiana with another score.
Yeah. Ethan Harrison had the read there. He had the option to give to the backer to keep it and veer off tackle like he did. And I think either way would have worked, but he kept it and was able to go down again. You're playing against the second team for Winfield, and the offensive line for Louisiana sure looks a lot better against the second team.
It's good to see fight in them, too.
Yeah.
It's good to see fight in them because Louisiana's had a rough, past 4 or 5 weeks for many reasons. And it's just good to see them out here fighting and competing.
Right. And it says a lot whenever
Hooper Lumley.
There's flag.
Hooper Lumley took the pitch, rolled to his left, and the lefty threw it into the corner of the end zone for a 2-point conversion. But we got a flag on the field.
As I was saying, it says a lot that, none of these boys, they haven't lost any players yet. They haven't walked away from it. And they stayed in there and fought it. So that says a lot about their character.
Yeah, and we see Zerwa down here on the sideline, and he appears to be physically okay, He hasn't been back into the game since taking that hit, but it's good to see him talking to his teammates. We've seen him talking to a few people at halftime, and he didn't go in with the team. And maybe Zero will be ready for the next game here in a few weeks.
They called Louisiana for illegal man downfield, so they're going to retry the 2-point conversion. Harrison has Green offset to the right. Harrison rolls out to his right, looks to throw, throws it to the back of the end zone for Lumley. He makes the reception. 2-point conversion is good, and it's 52-22, 6:57 left here in the fourth. Back with more after this on Eagle 102 and WBBA Sports.
Orthopedic doctors, and physical therapists. We can make a difference between safe play and dangerous injuries for your athletes. Working with Bowling Green Cotton and Louisiana schools, our goal is to provide the best possible outcome for your athlete. I'm Eric Schaefer.
This is Tiffany with Match. Are you looking to get a jump on Black Friday? Save big with Match's 2-day pre-Black Friday sales event. Tremendous savings on the entire Whirlpool family, such as KitchenAid, Maytag, and Amana. You can choose from many styles of refrigerators, ranges, dishwashers, and more. Oh, and let's not forget the ever-favorite Speed Clean washers and dryers. Don't miss out. These special one-of-a-kind deals are for a limited time only. Save the date, Friday, November 3rd, 8 to 5, and Saturday, November 4th, 9 to 8. Stop by either location at Mash in downtown Louisiana at 607 Georgia Street or just off the square in Bowling Green at 20 South Court Street. We hope to see you there. Mash, your major appliance service headquarters.
Area High School Sports on Eagle 102. Brought to you by People's Bank and Trust, State Farm Insurance, Cindy Blaylock Agent, and Bowling Green Pharmacy.
We're back here at Wright City. Score is 52-22. Wright City is up on the Louisiana Bulldogs. Corey Radford with Kelly Henderson and Rodney Dolbear. Rodney's given me the chance to say a happy early 40th birthday to my wife, Tiffany, for this upcoming Sunday. So I appreciate it.
You know, that's saying something. I never thought she'd live that long being married to you.
Well, and I doubt she's listening now because she ain't going to listen to me when I'm at home. So why would she listen when she doesn't have to? It's hard to believe a young stud like me is married to a 40-year-old woman.
Well, we've got substitutions on the field for Wright City. New running back just takes the carry, picks up very, very little to nothing. Benjamin Rodriguez, freshman, gets the carry. Quarterback still in there, Gendron. The onside kick from Louisiana was fielded that time by Allison. He took about 3 or 4 steps with it and was popped hard. Ball came out, but Wright City was able to fall on it. So they'll have it 2nd and 10. Gendron, starting quarterback with a host of new guys. This time, handoff in the backfield, tackle for a loss.
He was not down.
Gavin McCord looked like he was down. He wasn't down.
And he just rolled across the defender.
Across the body, yeah.
Going to pick up about 3 after all of that.
Rodney, I'll tell you what that looked like. Do you remember the Auburn-Oregon national championship game when Trey Mason did that? He rolled over and he wasn't down and ended up gaining enough yardage for the game-winning field goal for Auburn in the national championship.
You have a much better memory than I do. 3rd and 9. Gendron in the backfield. Hands off to the right back. Hit, gaining about 1, was Gavin McCord. So it'll bring up 4th down. Clock at 5:20 and running.
Now, and Wright City's a Class 3 school, so I mean they're a little bit more. But be honest with you, Wright City is basically Louisiana with an interstate. It's kind of the same caliber of kids, a little bit more. So they have more kids that can come out. But
I don't know. Yeah, but I don't know if they have many more on their team than Louisiana has. Maybe 3 or 4 more.
Gonna have the first punt of the night here by Wright City. It appears so. Now we got a timeout.
Oh, you had Jones and McRoberts lined up in punt formation.
Yeah,
That
I'm not sure I trust all that.
No, and Louisiana didn't trust it either. They're going to take a break. We'll step aside with 4 minutes, 49 seconds left in the fourth. Back with more after this on Eagle 102 and WBBA Sports.
numerous craft projects, and even the occasional day trip around Pike County. As a resident, you can enjoy the same independent lifestyle you've always enjoyed, but with the peace of mind knowing that help is available when needed. For more information, visit Lynn's Heritage House, 800 Kelly Lane, Louisiana, or online at lynnsheritage.com.
J. Roberts Jewelry in Pittsfield is more than just a place to purchase exquisite jewelry. They offer a wide range of services, including on-site jewelry and clock repair, in addition to personalized engraving services. With J. Roberts Jewelers' high-quality engraving equipment, they can turn any item into a one-of-a-kind keepsake. To top it off, J. Roberts Jewelers in Pittsfield offers a complimentary jewelry cleaning and inspection service. J. Roberts Jewelry, just off the northwest corner of the square in Pittsfield.
Follow area high school sports throughout the season on Eagle 102. Brought to you by Veolia Landscape Supply, Royal Paints, and a taste of Phillips.
McRoberts does kick it away, and Blackwell falls on it just inside the 20-yard line. Ball spotted down, it appears, at the 18, their own 18. 4 minutes, 42 seconds left in this one. Harrison with the fake, keeps it, rolls out to the right side. He crosses the 20 to the 25, and will be marked down just short of the first down, it looks like. Second and short.
Yeah, just Ethan Harrison getting on the outside there, and just kind of what's worked in this fourth quarter so far. I'd like to see him go down here, get another score, maybe get up in the 30s, a little confidence builder for districts.
Harrison stands in the backfield, puts Shepard in motion, handoff to Shepard coming in the near side. He cuts it back to the left into the backfield, still on his feet. One man to beat at the 45, still on his feet to the 50, to the 40, to the 35, drugged down there.
That should be a horse collar.
I think he got his arm. I don't think he got inside of his shoulder pads. I think he got his arm and drug him down. That was Blackwell on that run, wasn't it? No,
I think it was Shepard.
That's Shepard.
He was drugged down by Benjamin Rodriguez, one of the substitutes, a freshman.
You know, it was almost a little bit of that, what they call that hip tackle, which, you know, for anybody that was paying attention to the NFL fall meetings this week, they're talking about banning that. I don't know how you're going to tackle anybody.
Yeah, I don't think they want anybody to tackle anybody.
Well, they gave a statistic that, like, players are hurt something like 90 more times on that type of tackle than any other tackle.
We've got a timeout on the field. We'll step aside for a short break as well. Back with more after this on Eagle 102 and WBBA Sports.
Highway 54 at Bowling Green, and will feature a wide assortment of furniture with many different chests and dressers, a variety of household items including lamps, a piano, salt and pepper shakers, and Christmas decor. There will also be tools, lawn equipment, antlers, and collectibles. To find the full listing and pictures, visit AllenAuctioneers.com. The auction of Don and Judy Blank Estate, Saturday, October 28th at 1302 Business Highway 54 in Bowling Green. Brought to you by Bill Allen Auction Service.
The area's best coverage of high school sports on Eagle 102, brought to you by Pike County Health Department, People's Savings Bank, and Allpark.
Well, new running back for Louisiana after the break. Troy McDaniel takes the handoff from Harrison, cuts to his right, slips, gets back to the line of scrimmage as Louisiana starts to rotate in some new players as well. McDaniel offset to Harrison's right. Option to the near side. McDaniel takes it across the 30-yard line to the 25, rolling forward to about the 23-yard line.
Yeah,
Nice gain by McDaniel.
He did a nice job. He saw that the outside wasn't there and was able to find the seam a little bit whenever he cut it up and was able to get a positive out of that run.
Patient running.
Yeah.
Not slow, but patient.
Yeah.
Let the blocks build up in front of him.
High snap. Harrison keeps it, follows McDaniel. Going to get down to about the 20-yard line. It'll bring up a 4th and about 2 or 3.
Young man was a little bit early on that. But
I'm not so sure that wasn't supposed to go to McDaniel, but he was by his quarterback by the time the snap reached.
Well, and it was
Ethan.
It was a high snap, yeah, and Ethan had to go up and get it, and he did a nice job of fielding the snap.
I guess part of it is a little bit of visual deception because it is a 7-yard, 6 yards formation, so the ball was snapped. It was a little high, and McDaniel was off to the races. He offsets to the left this time. He was early again. Harrison rolls out to his left. He's at the 15, at the 5, going to be drugged down inside the 10-yard line. We'll see where they mark it. Be 1st and goal to go for Louisiana.
I'm sure you guys remember your first few snaps as a varsity player, as an underclassman. Everything's going a little bit faster in your mind.
Well, when you're young and getting on that varsity field, you're like, man, everybody's big.
and for us three, we all were linemen. Your first dose of varsity was usually on that kickoff return.
Yeah. Another high snap. Harrison takes it at the 5, cuts inside. He walks into the end zone. Touchdown, L.A. Bulldogs. Ethan Harrison from 6 yards out.
Yeah. And I'll say this again, Wright City has their second team, their JV in. And you could say, yeah, they're against their JV, but, I have seen some Louisiana teams in the recent past that hasn't been able to move the ball against the JV team. So, at least we got that going for us.
We have an injury timeout on the field. One of the Wright City players on the ground in the end zone on his back. We will step aside for a break as the medical staff tends to the injured player. Back with more after this on Eagle 102 and WBBA Sports.
You can find California berries, cherries, pizza, nectarines, plus Texas Eating watermelon. Apples also has local beef, pork, and honey available. Open every day, 9 to 7. Apples Farm Market, just off Highway 54, between Louisiana and Pittsfield.
You simply can't buy a better replacement window than one from Sun Window Company. Energy-efficient windows and doors with a lifetime warranty on both the window and installation. Sun Window Company, family-owned and operated since 1989, offers low factory direct prices on high-quality vinyl windows, custom designed to fit perfectly and built to last. See how much you can save. Call Sun Windows, 573-549-2080 for details and a free estimate. Sun Window Company, Highway 161 in Middletown. Area High School Sports on Eagle 102, brought to you by Rick Rodhouse, Country Financial Agent, Noah Building, and Central State Bank of Illinois.
Injured player still on the ground, flat on his back. He's moved, but he hasn't moved much since the play completed. I did not see what happened, but he's still shaken up at this point. Looks like they're about to get him up. He is sitting up now. Looks like it may be a right leg injury. We'll see what they do. If they get him up here shortly, we'll have the extra point attempt. Our score with 1:44 left in the fourth quarter, 52-28 at the moment, an impending 2-point conversion attempt coming for Louisiana. Harrison took that in from the 6-yard line. Louisiana down 33-0 at half.
Oh, they got him up.
They've scored 28 points here in the second half of play. The injured player is up and making it his way off of the field with some assistance from the medical and coaching staff. So we will be having the 2-point try very shortly.
Well, Rodney, as soon as the game's over with, we'll have the post-game show here on KJFM and WBBA Sports to wrap up tonight's action.
1 minute, 44 seconds left to play in this one. And both squads back on the field as the injured player has made it to the sideline. So Harrison will run the offense. He'll have McDaniel in the backfield with him. Lumley splits wide to the right. Pitzer to the top of the field. Lumley comes in to a more traditional tight end formation. High snap once again. Blackwell takes the pitch, looks to get the corner. He's got some traffic to avoid. He's not going to get in. 2-point conversion is no good. 1:44 to play. 52-28. Louisiana down to Wright City. Back with the conclusion of this one after this on Eagle 102 and WBBA Sports.
Central State Bank is ready to help. Right now, if you're a current customer, get a 15-month CD with a special rate of 5.6%. And for new customers, 5.3%. A $5,000 minimum balance is required. Stop in today and ask how you can take advantage of this special rate. Central State Bank. Central to your banking needs with locations in Pleasant Hill, Pittsfield, Kinderhook, Quincy, and Clayton. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Area high school sports on Eagle 102. Brought to you by Cellular and Satellite Center, Pike County Memorial Hospital, and Community State Bank of Missouri.
Harrison has it teed on the 40. He moves into it. Squib kick down the right side of the field. It'll roll out of bounds at about the 27-yard line, the 23-yard line. Penalty flag comes in as the ball does go out of bounds. I believe they'll spot it at the 35.
It's hard to say this after a penalty flag was thrown on Louisiana, but Louisiana's done a really good job tonight of cutting back on the penalties.
Yeah, they're under half of what they had last week. So
yeah, and I think 2 of them are illegal procedure on a kickoff. When the ball went out bounds.
Yeah, which is okay. One thing I would like to see him, going down that last offensive series, I think almost every snap except for one was high. And, whenever Wright City has their JV in there, that, let's get that fine-tuned so that whenever you're playing the next varsity game that you're ready to go.
Timeout Wright City.
Timeout Wright City. So with 1:44 still left on the clock, we'll take a short break as well. Back with the conclusion of this one after this on Eagle 102 and WBBA Sports.
Jacuzzi pumps, and many other specialty items. Stop by Ingram Plumbing today, Highway 61, Bowling Green.
This is Tracy Brookser with Pike County Health Department Home Health and Hospice. Our agency is currently looking to hire multiple positions: RNs, LPNs, CNAs, physical therapist assistants, and breastfeeding care counselor, all from full-time to part-time to contracted. Please visit our website at www.pikecountyhealth.org for more information and to apply online.
Area high school sports on KJFM radio. Brought to you by Brown's Processing and Smokehouse Meats, Young Enterprises, and Family Druff.
First and 10 on the 35, and it looks like Wright City is going to be content to run this one out. Takes the snap and the knee. 1:30 left in this one, and they'll run some play clock at 27. They'll have to snap it 1 or 2 more times. Shotgun formation. So the kneel down results in a loss of 5.
Once again, just kind of want to remind everyone, Louisiana likely not to have a game next week, but the season's not over with. They'll probably have to travel to another school on November 3rd, Friday, November 3rd, for a district game.
And another kneel down. 56 ticks left in this one. By the time they spot the ball and start the play clock, they are going to have to take one more snap. It's 3rd and 20. One more snap will do it. We'll, of course, after this one's complete, we'll bring it back for a post-game wrap. 52-28 is our score. One more snap, the kneel down, and that's going to do it as the time will expire. Our final here is 52-28. Back with the post-game wrap after this on Eagle 102 and WBBA Sports.
Game of the Week coverage brought to you by West End Cabins and Storage, Central State Bank of Illinois, and Missouri State Representative Chad Preston. Welcome to Valley National Bank.
Hey, talk to someone about a loan.
Oh, I'll grab you the L97B. We call it the Just Talking Form.
About actually applying for a loan.
Oh my, well let me pop in the donor cartridge. Hey Bill, big stapler?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go to People's Savings Bank.
Skip the mega banks. When you need a loan, visit People's Savings Bank. The people you know and trust. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. That commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
Ask me, Ashley Jenkins, about Shelter's auto, home, and life options.
From the classic cheesesteak and rich crab cake, a taste of Philly in Bowling Green is a fan favorite. A meal ready for you before or after the game, and game day jerseys are welcome. Open 7 days a week. A taste of Philly. Business Highway 54 West in Bowling Green. The score of any athletic event is generally forgotten over time, but the actions of players, coaches, and spectators leave lasting impressions. The next time you attend a high school game, think of how history will remember you. Choose good sportsmanship and help rekindle the spirit of citizenship. Remember, the lessons you teach today will help develop better citizens in our community for tomorrow. This message was brought to you by your friends at the Missouri State High School Activities Association and FM Eagle 102.
High school sports on your area sports leader, Eagle 102. Brought to you by Bowling Green Tractor, Vicky Cadwalder, Real Estate, and Ingram Plumbing.
Bringing you all the action from the Eagle 102 broadcast booth, sponsored by Family Drug in Louisiana. Time now for the Eagle 102 postgame show on KJFM.
Welcome back to Wright City. This one's in the books. Our final is 52-28 in favor of the Wright City Wildcats. Scoring in the second half, it was 33-0 at half Wright City. Jones takes it in with 7:12 left in the third quarter, a 6-yard run, no good on the extra point attempt. It was 39-0. Louisiana comes right back. Ethan Harrison scores from 35 yards out. The 2-point conversion was no good. It was 39-6. After a turnover on downs, a 34-yard run from McRoberts made it 45-6. Immediately after that, an 83-yard kickoff return from Harrison with the 2-point conversion good to Lumley makes it 45-14 headed into the fourth quarter of play. McRoberts with another long run of 46 yards. The kick good makes it 52-14. Harrison scores from 33 yards out with 6:57 left to play. The 2-point conversion was good as well. That set the score 52-22, and the last score of the game came with 1:44 left. Harrison from 6 yards out, the 2-point conversion no good. That set our final score at 52-28.
Yeah, you know, what I see tonight was just, again, Wright City's a Class 3 school with a winning record. Louisiana's a Class 1 school, and they only won 2 ball games coming into this. And, you know, their top 11 is just better than Louisiana's top 11 on both sides of the ball.
Absolutely. Hopefully Louisiana can take some momentum. They, as we mentioned, may not be playing next week, and so after that it's time for districts.
Rodney and Kelly, what are we going to do on a Friday night tomorrow night without a game to do?
I'll find something to do.
I'm sure that we will. Yep. Well, folks, we want to thank you all for joining us this evening on a rare edition of Thursday Night Lights. Louisiana high school football came at you a day early this week. We'll have games tomorrow night as well as we roll into the district play in the coming weeks. For Corey Radford, Kelly Henderson, I'm Rodney Dolbear. Thanks for listening, and good night.